and chalk talk. Mm-hmm. So you guys running over plays, X's and O's?
X's and O's.
All right.
They go through kind of their role and what they do and a little bit about the game.
Pay attention, Jenny, so you can come back and give us some info on what ECU's going to do.
I generally know, but if they get like really in depth with those like in secret names, then I don't know what they're talking about, because that's like the third person is supposed to run and cut, and I just know, slant, slot, those types of things. So we'll be good. We'll be good, Clip.
Chandler, make sure the program button's hit. You got that? All right, we're good to go. All right, well, I'm going to quiz you on that one day, Jenny, and see how much you do know. 7 o'clock, weight room. Mm-hmm. All right, what goes down in the weight room?
I mean, we do some drills. We do some weights. We sit-ups and things of that nature.
Squats and jumping jacks, and they make us huff and puff. They like putting it on us a little bit, Clip. Show us what they've been doing with the Pirates all summer.
All right.
But it is a lot of fun. Ladies laugh a lot, and they have a good time.
Skills and drills at 7:20. So you guys running routes?
We do, yeah.
Blocking, tackling. What else we doing?
They got a lot. They got a lot of safety bags out around all of the demonstrations. And then there's like 3 guys surrounding in case somebody flies off the bag. So it's super safe, but you can go and run through stuff and jump and tackle and
kick a field goal.
Yep.
How long can you kick a field goal, Jenny?
I don't think we tried that last year, did we?
I thought we did.
Can you hit an extra point?
I've never tried.
Maybe we did that at JMU. Maybe that was at JMU. My fault. But yes, we have done that before. I don't know what they're going to do this year. Maybe that.
And then at 7:45, this looks like my favorite part if I was attending, dinner in the Town Bank Tower. That sounds like a blast.
Oh, that's a new part. We didn't get to go in the tower last time because it was still under construction.
Oh, that's right.
And then the first year it was actually still under construction, even the weight room and whatnot, because Mike had just gotten there and they were rebranding everything. And so some of the things were still half done, like the tunnel hallway where they walk out before the entrance to the football game and whatnot. So I'll be interested to see what other changes they've made.
So what the coaches will be a part of this as well, Amanda?
Well, yeah. So they'll do their little chalk talk, and that's a lot of fun. So I think it's great for the ladies because they, get to know exactly who the offensive coordinator is. A lot of times they're seeing them from afar. Or I'm listening to them on the radio, but this time they get to see them and maybe meet and greet.
We love Donnie K talk, don't we?
Oh, goodness. So are you sure you're going to get all this done by 7:45 if Donnie K is talking? That could take a while.
I think Coach Houston gives them like a time limit, and then he gets the evil eye by his wife.
By the way, programming alert, Donnie Kirkpatrick will join us Friday here on Pirate Radio Live. So
you should bring his wife in, too.
Yes, she is a fellow Washington football team fan,
yes,
so I am a fan of hers. We talk some Washington football every time we see each other. So the ladies clinic going on, ladies football clinic, Friday, 5 o'clock, $75. You can register ahead or you can show up on Friday.
Exactly.
Anything else regarding the clinic?
No, it's super fun, and you can also sign up, I think, at www.MikeHoustonCampsLLC.com.
All right.
So if you want to go ahead and pre-register, there is a form you'll have to fill out if you come to the door to register, just a medical clearance form. But other than that, you can still walk up to the door or pre-register. We hope to see you guys out there. It's super fun.
And bring friends. It does end up being just a lot of fun if you have all your girlfriends there to giggle with and have a good time with.
It's a good reason to get out of the house and keep your hubs at home, keep the kids, and go out and have a glass of wine and enjoy the night.
I made a mistake, Amanda. Right after spring ball, I host sports trivia at AJ's. I saw a couple of coaches, including the new running backs coach, Chris Foster, and introduced myself. I talked to him on the radio, but hadn't met him face to face. And spring ball had ended, and I said, "All right, coach, you get a little vacation time in now, a little time off." He said, "There's no time off." No. He said, what did he say? If you're not working every day, it's like shaving. You can tell when you don't shave every day. You can tell when you don't recruit and work every day. You're able to get a little bit of time off during the summer, but has that about passed you by at this point?
It's over.
It's over.
In fact, I finished unpacking all the suitcases. They are in the attic now, and it's done. So we're ready for football season. That's exactly right.
And we are certainly looking forward to that. Amanda, what is the tight end depth chart looking like right now?
Oh, my.
You got any notes for me?
I do.
Any inside info?
Man. Oh, come on, Cliff. That's not fair.
I had to ask. I'm looking for any inside info I can get.
I am not the one.
Over the weekend, my wife asked if we had Hulu because we have all these streaming whatevers. It's the only one we didn't have. She wanted to watch a show with Nicole Kidman. So he got it and then realized that show doesn't come out till mid-August. Anyway, long story short, I was like, well, since I got it, I'm going to watch something on it. I started watching Friday Night Lights.
Oh, yeah.
Are you a fan? Really?
No, we didn't watch it.
Wow. Okay.
I think that's one of those things. So
is it too close to home?
I think it is. And so he started reading that. This has been years ago, and he was a high school coach. This is not a funny story, but to that point.
Yeah.
He had that book, and we were lying in bed one night. I was reading. He picked it up to read, and he literally opened it, read for a little bit, and shut it. And he goes, "Nope. I just finished the season, and this is too soon."
Why do I want to read about my life, like what I'm doing?
Exactly.
That's a good point. That makes a lot of sense,
like,
actually.
Nah, I'm good.
Yeah. I know Mike is a fan of Yellowstone.
Yes.
He shares, in fact, Morgan Ayler's kind of got me on it, and I tweet every now and then to Coach Houston and Morgan about it. Do you watch that as well?
Huge fan. We're obsessed.
Coming back this fall.
What else have you been watching? Any other new series that you guys have dove into?
Ozark, which I don't.
We're still waiting on the season coming back.
I know.
It's a
So
great
we
show.
just finished it. It is actually. So we just got caught up. So that was good, but we're still big Yellowstone fans.
Yeah, that's we're waiting on that to come back this fall. Excited for football in Yellowstone coming up
That's right.
this fall. All right, anything else, Amanda, we need to know before?
No, thank you for having me.
Thanks for
Ladies,
coming
come
on.
out.
Yeah, thank you for coming back to the studio. And register for the ladies' clinic this Friday, guys.
Or show up.
Yep.
5 o'clock on Friday. You can show up a little ahead of time, you said. And going to be a really fun evening for the ladies. Get to know the coaching staff and know more about me and a lot of insiders on football. You get to tour the facilities. You get to see the X's and O's. So it should be a lot of fun. Jenny, report back on any inside info you get, okay?
I will. Maybe you'll have me back next week, and I can try another solo venture, see how that goes.
I tell you what, you're getting better every time you step into this room.
I'm trying, Clip. Thank you.
All right, Amanda, thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Jenny, we'll see you around the hallway. Sound good?
We got to go do more work.
Okay, get to work. Let's take a time out. We'll come back. Billy Weaver will join us on the other side. We'll talk about Billy's Beach Breakfast and everything else going on in the world of sports. That's on the way on Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. We're back with you after these words.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby! The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Is that the sound of an ooey gooey cheesy crunchy slice of P-I-Z-Z-A? Obviously, but as good as that sounds, we think it can get even better. Oh yeah, that's the sound of a freshly opened fizz-filled Pepsi. The only thing that can take this flavor medley of crunchy dough, mouth-watering cheese, and savory sauce to the next level. How about another bite? Pepsi and pizza sound like a match made in heaven and taste even better. Pizza, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
Greenville's original express car wash is now offering a fast pass for as low as $19.99. That's one pass, 4 locations, and unlimited washes. Visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and East 10th Street, and also in New Bern on Glen Burnie Road. And by popular demand, Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Your power's out. There's a water leak. What do? For these and other utility-related emergencies, you need service, and you want it fast. There are two things you can do to get the quickest response if you're a GUC customer. First, you can call the hotline at 1-855-767-2482 and report any utility-related emergency. That number is also on GUC.com. Or second, you can give GUC your phone number. The hotline process is quickest when their account records have your current phone number. Service you can count on. Greenville Utilities.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Chico's Mexican Restaurant is where the fiesta never ends. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's every Wednesday for shrimp tacos for only $9.99. Plus Wednesdays means all Mexican imports for only $2.50. Thursdays, enjoy your favorite beef, chicken, or vegetable fajitas for only $9.99. For Mexican food and fun, it's got to be Chico's in downtown Greenville and now available through DoorDash, featuring a half gallon of the famous margarita mix to go for only $9.99. Chico's, where the fiesta never ends.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
The brand new chancellor of East Carolina University, Dr. Philip Rogers.
Greenville has been home, and it was just one of those places growing up that it was so impactful on my life that the thought of coming back to East Carolina University and raising my two boys here was a no-brainer.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Pirate Radio.
We're going to be bigger, faster, stronger, and older. That's always a good combination.
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. You've worked hard to start your business and are working even harder to make it successful. And that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. As the business world throws you curveballs, Select Bank and Trust is here to be responsive to your needs. Select Bank's team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, thanks to Amanda Houston and Ginny Shelton for joining me. Segment number 1, talking about the ladies football clinic going on this Friday. You can register or just show up on Friday. It is at 5 o'clock to around 7:45ish, and there will be a dinner. There will be skills and drills, weight room visit, chalk talk, all kinds of stuff, and a cool T-shirt that you can get as well if you are a part of the ladies football clinic going on this Friday. All right, we will now head out to the Fix NC Live line, I believe, and talk to Billy Weaver. Or will we talk to Billy Weaver? We will talk to Billy Weaver as he joins us on the program on a Tuesday. Weave, how you doing today, man?
Doing good, man. Hot. Is it just me, or is it hot?
It is smoking, buddy. It is smoking outside as Weave joins us here on a Tuesday. And Weave, let's start here. Boy, I hate to start with the bad news. The good news is the Mets are going to win the NL East. I'm going to tell you, Weave. They're going to win it this year. Bad news is this is the most Mets story I've ever seen. Saw this today. Glenn brought it to my attention that the Mets contract agreement with their first-round pick, Kumar Rocker, is in limbo due to concerns with his elbow, his pitching elbow. And Weave, I don't know if I've seen this one before. We know about the Mets and their injuries. How about an injury to a pitcher before he can even become a Met?
Yeah, that's a little different.
Yeah.
But like you said, man, that's the most Met thing that could happen. Because I don't know how I became a fan of two teams being the Mets and the Washington football team. that are so dysfunctional. It's amazing. The amazing Mets continue to amaze. But yeah, that's something you don't hear very often. But I'm not surprised. It doesn't surprise me anything that happens with the Mets. So aren't they still paying Bobby Bonilla?
Yes, and they will be for the foreseeable future every year.
And you know what? I always forget about that until July rolls around.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, yeah, that's right. The Mets are still paying Bobby Bonilla, who hasn't played in the league in, 20 years?
We celebrated Bobby Bonilla Day earlier this month here on Pirate Radio Live. Speaking of Washington's dysfunction, Ron Rivera has cleaned some of that up on the field and in the locker room. There's still Snyders involved. Although maybe Dan's wife, her being in charge will be better than Dan being in charge. I don't know. But we saw last week the Cleveland Indians are changing their name to the Cleveland Guardians. So former Pirates Trey Benton, Seth Cadell, and their number one draft pick of this year, Gavin Williams, could potentially suit up for the Cleveland Guardians one day. And it got me thinking a couple things. First of all, when I first heard it, it sounds awkward. There is a meaning to the name for folks in Cleveland, so I guess that's cool.
Named after a bridge.
Yeah. And when you think about it, like, we just accept the names Red Sox and White Sox, but how stupid would that be in 2021 if Washington said, we're the Washington Burgundy Sox? It would be the dumbest name ever, but we're just used to it in baseball, so we accept it. So I think what I'm trying to say is I'm all in on Red Wolves, Weave. I know it's difficult to say, Red Wolves. Right. But that's the one I'm going with. I'll be disappointed at this point if it's not Red Wolves or just Wolves.
Well, I think we talked about this before. I'm on the Red Hawks bandwagon.
Yeah.
And because of what we talked about, it's hard for me to say Red Wolves. Washington Red Wolf. That doesn't roll off my tongue well. And but I'm just being selfish on that one.
A wolf is cooler than a hawk. We can all agree on that, right?
No, I agree.
Okay.
I agree. Then how about the Washington Wolves?
Yeah.
I think that the throwing the Red Wolves in there, because it's just I can't say it.
Yeah.
I think I said this to you before too. I have trouble saying the word rural. I have to sit and think about the word rural.
Rural.
It's weird to me, and having been in the broadcast business for almost 30 years, you would figure that I would get over that, but I never have. So I just don't know how long or if I would ever get over not being able to say Washington Red Wolves. So
it just sounds like you're slurring. You've had a few, and
it does. It sounds like I've had a few drinks, which could be the case here lately. But the Guardians thing I thought was interesting when I was reading the article about it. I guess it's I don't know much about Cleveland, in that area, but I guess there's a bridge there that has a Guardian Tower or towers, or something like that, and it's a big deal there. So I do like the sense that they're going localized with it.
Yeah.
I do agree with your assessment too on the Red Sox and the White Sox. I have never really figured that one out. And you know what another one that goes into that whole thing is? How about Presbyterian? You know what they are, right?
They're the Blue Hose.
Yeah, and that's like Blue Sox, because the Hose, I guess, were the athletic socks.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's the Red Sox, the White Sox, and the Blue Hose.
I tweeted something about it, Weave, and our buddy Brian Meador, who is a LA Dodgers fan, talked about their team name and, kind of how weird it is. It was named, they were originally the Trolley Dodgers for, like he said, homeless people that would, like, have to dodge all the trolleys in the boroughs there or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that, too. Yeah, until you said that. When you said Dodgers, I immediately thought, yeah, that's a weird one, too. I'd have to sit and think of some other weird ones that don't make a whole lot of sense.
Well, the New Orleans Jazz would be an awesome team name, but Utah Jazz is the dumbest, perhaps, team name.
That's so funny that you say that. You took that right out of my head, because I thought of the Jazz immediately, and I thought of, teams that have moved.
Yeah.
When they were in one city, it made sense, but when they moved to another city, it didn't make much sense at all. And the Jazz is one of them. Yeah. So because the Utah Jazz, that's team names are crazy. And I'm just hoping that sometime soon I would guess, and it's already been announced that they're going to go this entire season. Washington is with being Washington football team, but they haven't said when they will announce what their new name is. So I think that's going to be something to follow this year.
I mean, Cleveland did it on a random, what was it, Thursday or Friday during the baseball season. So it wouldn't surprise me, Weave, if it might already be determined, but if it's out publicly during the football season, because Washington is losing a ton of money right now not having merchandise out there. And
right.
You look everywhere, you'll see every team in the NFL just about, and there's not hardly any Washington football team gear. I don't know, I wouldn't mind a hat or something, but they're tough to find. You can find them online. But if they go ahead and roll out a name, even if they're not called that officially on the field yet, they can start to get merchandise out and try to make up some of that money. They're missing out on a lot right now.
That's a very good point, and especially with jersey sales, man.
Yeah.
You like a Chase Young. Why? I know lots of people that would love to have a Chase Young jersey right now. But I mean, would you buy one and not knowing what the team name is or what the jersey's really going to look like and all that? So yeah, they're missing an opportunity right now, and that surprises me a lot with Dan Snyder, because you got to remember, this is a guy that charged $10 a pop to go to training camp. Years back.
Well, I hope you're not going, Weave. Your parking pass might be $45 this year to watch training camp, so they might up the prices.
Yeah. So that surprises me that a guy like Daniel Snyder is not taking advantage of that in the merchandising department, because, as you well know, NFL merchandise, man, just the rights and just what a team makes on merchandising alone is a fortune.
I remember, going when I would go to Washington games, I did buy my stepson, I think the last time I went, a Brian Arakpo jersey. Tells you how long it's been since I've gone to a game. But if you go in that store during a game, Weave, I mean, it's not even standing room only. You have to stand sideways to get in. I mean, that stuff just flies off the shelves, and now it's all online and everything. So, Washington missing out on a big chunk of change until they do come up with a team name, and they got to get it right. They got to get the logo right. I tell you what, no matter what they do, we know how it is, especially online. It's going to get trashed. You just got to get through that first day or two, and then everything will be okay. Kind of like Guardians, I guess.
Yeah, and like we talked about the Wood Ducks. I didn't think that was a great name at all, but I've grown to actually really like it and like the logo. It just took a little bit of time, and it's like anything else. But it's funny that you talk about the merchandising thing with Washington. Is I have a funny merchandising story. I took my son to a exhibition game up at FedEx Field. We were coming back from Baltimore, and actually just timed out right. So we bought some tickets and went to a game. Well, as a youngster, my son was a Duke fan, and still is a Duke fan. Loves Duke basketball. He had a Duke basketball hat on, and it just had the D on it. So what?
Oh yeah,
like
yeah. Cowboys.
And I told him that it had a D on. It was a black hat with a blue D on the front of it. Well, on the back it was a fitted hat. So on the back it had Duke written on it, small and blue.
Yeah.
And he kept telling, and I said, I don't know if you want to wear that in here. That looks like a Dallas Cowboys hat. He's like, no, this is a Duke hat. And I said, I know it's a Duke hat. And I said, some people will. I said, you're going to get flack over that. He didn't believe me.
Oh man.
Of course, we walk in the stadium, and man, he got. There were probably 4 or 5 people. Nobody that got really ugly with him at all. But it was just kind of like, man, you don't need to be wearing that hat in here. And he's like, it's a Duke hat. And he said this to one guy. He said, it's a Duke hat. And the guy said, I don't care. It looks too much like Dallas.
Also, a lot of Maryland Terrapins up there, that didn't like Duke. So he's bad either way. But yeah, people sitting behind him are like, all right, we'll give him a pass. It's a Duke hat. People walking in front of him, a different story. So there you go.
Well, he had, after about the 4th or 5th person that said something, we're sitting. It was right about when the game was about to start. We're sitting down in the stands, and he looks over at me and goes, Dad, can we go buy a Redskins?
I don't.
Of course, Dad's got to go into the stadium store, which of course everything in the stadium gift shop or souvenir shop or whatever you want to call it is overpriced.
Oh yeah.
I think I paid like $40-$50 for a hat for him. So
I wouldn't mind going to see Washington play in Bank of America Stadium. I feel like that would be a kind of laid-back atmosphere, and there'd be so many Washington fans there anyway. You'd find a lot of people to root with. But I have no desire at all. I might do Cowboys, but I have no desire at all to go to like Philadelphia or New York to see a Washington game. Like, I just don't even think it would be fun. All the idiots there, and you know.
No, it wouldn't be fun at all. To tell you the truth, I mean, I would be so. I'm not really that guy that like shies away from stuff. But just to kind of, so I could enjoy the game, if I went to Philadelphia or to New York, I don't think I would wear any gear. I don't think I would wear anything that identified me as a Washington fan. I would just sit and enjoy the game and root for my team kind of quietly.
Yeah, but and again, that's not fun. That's not football.
Right.
Yeah.
That would take the fun away from it. Now, I have been to Bank of America when Washington played there. As a matter of fact, I was there the game that kind of cost Ron Rivera's job. I was at that game. Now I would love to go to Dallas for a Washington-Dallas game. Now, I would take that because I haven't been to AT&T Stadium. I've not been there. I've not been to Jerry's World. I do want to go because of the spectacle of it, and because anytime you can watch Dallas and Washington play, I'm all for that. I've been to FedEx to see Dallas play there, but I've never been to Dallas to see Washington play. So I would do that, but definitely stay away from Philly and New York. It would just be too much of a headache.
Yeah, in Dallas, there's a lot of Washington fans and a lot of opposing fans that are at that building. It's almost like a bowl game atmosphere when you're in that giant stadium. Shirley, before we'll move on from this topic, I sent you a tweet that I want to play on the air. It's actually Ron Rivera giving an endorsement for a team name. I saw a video of this, and we'll play that momentarily as Billy Weaver joins us on the Fixed NC Live line. Speaking of overpriced things, I watched a documentary. It was a good documentary, but pretty disturbing, on Woodstock 99. This might be more up Shirley and I's era. And Weave, I don't know if you were into that. It was like right at the turn of this dumb rock rap combo. And I love Limp Bizkit as a 17-year-old kid, but I can now say it's pretty awful music, but I loved it at the time. But they were charging $4 waters in 1999 at Woodstock 99, and like everybody went nuts about it.
Remember that?
Yeah. It is but it's a good documentary on HBO Max. All right, here's the audio, and we'll close out this conversation. Ron Rivera talking to, I believe, a reporter doing a story. They're in a golf cart, and here's how it sounded.
I was going to ask if you could pick another name, if you're allowed to say, what would you? Because I have a suggestion.
Wow. One that caught a lot of steam that I did kind of thought would be cool would be Red Wolves.
Yeah, I like that. Okay.
There you go, Weave. Red Wolves. Ron Rivera on board with it.
I think he's got a little bit of pull up.
Yeah, I do too. So I think it's the leading candidate at this point. Just throwing it out there. All right, Billy. Last time we talked. Oh, go ahead.
Have you heard if they're doing anything like Cleveland did and involving the fans in a fan vote or anything? Because that was a big. From what I understand and reading the article, Guardians was like the leading vote getter from the fans, that they had a ballot there. Are they going to do that in Washington?
Actually, I've seen, and this is going back, it was like a team survey thing, and they put some really wacky choices up there for people. But I think they have done, let's see, this fan said... anyway, I don't have it pulled up right now, but like they would have some weird ones up there. Some of the names, so they give you options, and I guess you pick the best one. Some of the names that season ticket holders got in the fan poll was the Washington Commanders, Washington Pilots, Renegades, Warriors, Armada, DC Football Club, Washington Brigade, Washington Red Hogs was in there, Red Wolves was in there. And then the weirdest one, and I don't know if they just did this to be funny, but I saw people commenting on this on a Washington message board. Washington Demon Cats. What the hell is that?
I don't know, but that sounds like an arena football.
The Demon Cats, yeah. The Wood Ducks are going to play as the Demon Cats this weekend at Granger Stadium. So
I mean, I don't hate the name as far as being like a intimidating name, but it does sound like an arena football league team. And what did you say? The DC something sound like a soccer team?
Yeah, DC Football Club.
That sounds too much like a soccer
yeah.
team there. They should be
So they have like sent out some things to get fans involved. Fred Smoot, who I follow on Twitter, has been pushing Red Wolves the last year or so, and I see more on that name probably than others. There was one that had historical significance. What was it? It was some pilots had a name, and I can't recall it at the moment. Red something maybe. Red Tails. Red Tails. That was it.
Tails were pilots. I think it was a group of pilots, and they were the Red Tails. I think that's what the significance that was. But with the Red Wolves, are we going to be actually, if that's the case, is it going to be like NC State when you go there and you hear the howling of the wolf?
I guess so. We're just going to have to
in the stadium.
We're going to have to fix our brains to root for that on Sundays and boo for it on Saturdays.
Yeah,
I guess
at least our team can be the ones that the opposing fans can come in and say, "Man, I hate that noise."
Yeah, exactly. All right. When we talked last Tuesday, this is just still fascinating to me. We had no idea Texas and Oklahoma had discussions with the Big 12 about leaving, had talked behind the scenes about joining the SEC. This all came out towards the end of last week, and has since been like an avalanche down a mountain. And now today, they officially notified the SEC, Texas and Oklahoma did. They are seeking an invitation for membership beginning July 1st, 2025. So it appears that they are indeed going to kind of play out their grant of rights media agreement with the Big 12, which ends on June 30th, 2025. And they are headed to the SEC. Unbelievable that these talks didn't get out, Billy, and none of us knew anything about this.
Well, especially when you talk about schools the size and the prestige and the history of Texas and Oklahoma, and with all the enormous boosters that they have in there, you got to know that there were a lot of boosters and a lot of big money people at those schools that knew what was going on and knew that there were talks involved. And for all those people to keep that under their hats until it came out here recently, and with it being so quickly that everything is happening, that's amazing to me, especially in this day and age. Now, back 20 years ago, I could see that happening because you didn't have as much social media and all that stuff, and there wasn't so much information floating around there. But like you said, man, it's amazing to me that stayed under wraps for so long. And what this is going to do, this is going to be the next wave. We had talked about, you remember the realignment of everything that happened, has it been like 10 years ago now?
Yeah, in fact, we looked back at that. It was 2012 when USA Today had an article about ECU joining the Big East. So it happened a few years prior to that. It all got going, and that was kind of on the tail end of the Big East crumbling, the American, all that.
Yeah, so it's been a little over 10 years. And you know what? To tell you the truth, I'm surprised that it's taken this long for another realignment, because after that happened, if you remember, we had talked about, for the couple years after that, okay, when is the next big realignment going to happen? Because it's going to happen. And there was talks about, different leagues and teams moving, and there was a little bit of shuffling around, but there wasn't that big major realignment. This with Texas and Oklahoma, this is going to be huge with realignment. It's gonna be a trickle down effect. There's already talk, of course. Mike Oresco with the American is talking about possibly pillaging some of those Big 12 schools and getting some of those. Now, will that happen, or will the Big 12 stay as 8 teams? The questions are like endless now. So it's been such a big ripple effect with these two schools that this is going to be something that's going to be the talk of the college athletics landscape for quite some time.
We got more questions than answers right now, but Kansas, Iowa State, are they options for the Big Ten? Does the Pac-12 try to go east and bring in like a Texas Tech or an Oklahoma State or something like that? And what does the ACC do? Do they get involved with West Virginia finally? And at that point, what's left? And can the American stay together? And our best hope as an East Carolina fan and as an AAC member, is the Big 12 just crumbling and all those schools going to different conferences, including the American.
Yeah, because what's going to happen is these Big 12 schools, when you talk about getting Big 12 schools to come to the American Athletic Conference, if the Big 12 can stay together, you got to remember they're part of the, they're one of the group of five, or one of the Power Five. They're not one of the group of five like the American. The American's not part of that big deal. So if you're a Big 12 team that's kind of left out, why would you go to the American? You would want to strengthen your conference and maybe pillage from another conference. And then there's still that opportunity or that talk that we had talked about a few years back of these super conferences. I mean, who's to say that the SEC doesn't take even more and the ACC doesn't grow a little bit, and then you have 5 or 6 super conferences, which could be a detriment to the AAC, or they could fall in line with that. There's so many different scenarios out there, and it's just going to be, to me, it's going to be fun to watch. It really is, because it's going to be fun to see who goes where and how that all happens, because it's going to be, I tell you what, right now, athletic directors and university presidents are on their toes, and they are on their phones 24/7 trying to figure this thing out.
Billy Weaver joining us on the Fixed NC Live line. We've 38 days away from kickoff. When that number gets in the 30s, it starts to feel real.
Yeah. I mean, it's right around the corner, and it's going to be fun. Yeah, I can't wait to see Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium back at full strength as far as the fans go. And, right now we're keeping our fingers crossed that we don't get any more crazy variants and all that stuff. And, football season is going to be a lot different this year. It's going to be, a whole lot more fun. I think with East Carolina, too, and I had said this, I expect East Carolina to win 6 games this year. I don't know if that's realistic. I don't know if that's me being, a little bit of, looking through the purple lenses or whatever, but I expect it. I expect 6 wins from East Carolina. I expect them to go back to a bowl game this year. I think they've got the talent to do it. I think they've got the coaching staff definitely to do it. They're coming into a time right now where you kind of expect that. You expect to see, I kind of equate it, if you know anything about grass. It's funny because I just got in from cutting the grass. That's why I was saying it was so hot outside. But I have centipede grass, and centipede, what it is centipede sleeps the first year. When you plant centipede grass, it sleeps the first year, it creeps the next year, and it leaps the third year. And I started thinking about that, and I was like, you know what? In the college coaching landscape, that's pretty daggone accurate. Because when a new coach comes in, year number 1 is sleep, year number 2 is creep, but year number 3, you better be leaping. And I know that's, we're already past that year number 3, but this is the time I think the Pirate football program needs to take that leap.
All right. I like that, Weave. I believe it or not, I've never heard that one before. Weave, you said football season is going to be different. I got a personal question for you. What the hell are you going to be doing Friday nights and Saturdays during August and September and beyond?
Hopefully talking to you guys a lot more.
Okay, good.
Let me tell you what, though. I'm definitely going to take in some high school football games.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss. I don't know if I could stay away from high school football on Friday night, having done it for nearly 30 years, every Friday night during football season, going out to Friday night football games. The good thing is that I literally live within walking distance to Farmville Central High School. I can walk. Farmville Central High School is literally right across the street from my house. I can open my front door on a Friday night and I'll be able to hear the fans, and I can hear the call in the stadium. So I will definitely be attending my fair share of Farmville Central games. Hopefully I can actually help out some sports departments on Friday nights. I'm definitely going to be at Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium doing a lot more tailgating and a lot more actually watching the game as opposed to watching it through a lens, which is, a lot of people don't realize how different that is. Because when I'm shooting football games on the sidelines, you're kind of honed in to where the ball is. You don't get to see a lot of off-the-ball action and see a lot of things. I've had people come up to me, man, did you see that hit in the backfield, or did you see hit that safety, hit that crack back block or whatever? And I'm like, no, I didn't see it because I was in the lens.
Yeah.
So that's the fun part, is I'm going to be able to sit in the stands and actually really, really watch the game the way I like to watch it. And hopefully I can join you guys on the post-game show on game nights. That would be fun.
Okay. Interesting. Maybe so. I'll miss our old tradition of me, you, and Shirley eating at halftime. Well, you eating and me and Shirley sitting there during halftime of games while you take a break from the sidelines.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. Hey, I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to claim that I'm a true member of Pirate Radio to keep a media credential.
There you go. That's right. You got to keep that credential on your neck.
No, I got to finagle a way to get into the press box. Don't let Tom don't let Tom McClellan over there know that we're finagling anything, or maybe Pirate Radio can find some work for me to do. That way I can keep my credential.
Maybe we can just do that coming up this fall. Stay tuned, folks. All right. We've everything going good with Billy's Beach Breakfast?
It is.
Good.
It is. We're getting into the stretch run here. We'll probably through August, so the next 5-6 weekends or so, and then we'll shut it down for the winter, and I'll be able to enjoy some football. So it's been very successful. I've been very happy with it. But it is a seasonal business. So I think once football season comes back around, the beach business is gonna slow down for sure.
Kenny has an idea on Facebook Live. Our early game on the 11th. We don't love nooners, but we do like breakfast. Let's get some Billy's Beach Breakfast truck out there and serve some breakfast to the fans.
That's an outstanding idea.
Something to look at, Weave.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about that. That is an outstanding idea.
There you go, Kenny.
We'll check that out.
All right.
Now I have to check into the logistics of that.
Yeah.
To see what kind of permits and all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
I don't want
something to think about. Something to think about.
Kick anybody off over at the university. Go up.
Yeah. Weave, thanks for joining us, man. Have a great rest of your week. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, man. We'll see you.
Our Tuesday chat with Billy Weaver from Billy's Beach Breakfast, joining us there on the Fixed NC Live line. Take a time out, wrap up hour number 1. We've got we'll hit some news of the day topics coming up at 4:00. Gene Briggs going to join us. He is the head coach of the Greenville Babe Ruth All-Stars, hosting the Southeast Regional. If you want to see some great Babe Ruth baseball and root Greenville on, you can do so at Guy Smith Stadium, and we'll give you all the details on that. Also, Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, will join us later on in today's program. We'll continue our position previews. Today we'll talk ECU defensive backs. A lot of names back there we recognize. We'll talk about some of the newcomers and new faces as well. All that and a lot more ahead, including a giveaway. We'll open up the booty bag in hour number 3. More to go on Pirate Radio Live after this.
The Tauber River Bandits are back, and this year we'll have a full season, and all fans are welcome this year. Come watch some of the best collegiate baseball around with over 20 Division I players on this active roster looking to compete at a high level. We have a family-friendly atmosphere, awesome stadium, food and drink specials, plus the coldest beer on the East. Come do something different with the family this summer with the Tauber River Bandits. 29 home games to choose from. Tickets available at the gate or online at TarboroughRiverbandits.com.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Ready to travel and take a trip this summer? Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has recently added more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, a wave of refreshment. Crafted using our unique Brew Pure process. Made pure. Nothing tastes like White Claw Hard Seltzer.
White Claw Hard Seltzer, available in 5 fruit flavors, 2 grams of carbs, gluten-free, and 100 calories. Find it at whiteclaw.com. White Claw Hard Seltzer. Nothing tastes quite like it. Proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage. Please drink responsibly.
Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. At Grifols, it adds up fast. New donors can earn up to $1,000 in your very first month. It's the easiest way to make extra money. Start now at Biomat USA, 505 South Memorial Drive, Greenville. Find your donor center at grifolsplasma.com. Make up to $1,000 in a month and save lives now at Grifols Biomat USA. A better donor experience and better pay.
This is Martin Truex Jr., and as a NASCAR Cup Series champion, I love one-stop shopping. When I need fresh tires or fuel during a race, my pit crew takes care of everything. Off the track, I have an Auto Owners independent agent. They handle all my insurance in one place: car, home, life, and business. Get your own pit crew and find a local agency with Auto Owners Insurance.
This is Jeff Gibson with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
East Coast Grading and Utilities is your source for clearing, hauling dirt, and concrete work. East Coast Grading and Utilities handles all sewer and water issues as well.
I'm David Bone. Whether putting in a new subdivision or helping you with any and all of your drainage problems, I can get the job done. Call me at 531-7494.
No job is too big or too small. East Coast Grading and Utilities. Friends helping friends. 531-7494 for East Coast Grading and Utilities.
This is East Carolina head football coach Mike Houston, and I'm proud to announce that our ladies clinic is back this summer on July the 30th. This evening will provide a behind-the-scenes look at ECU football and a chance to meet the players, coaches, and their families. The evening will end with an entertaining dinner and social. Sign up today at MikeHoustonFootballCampsLLC.com. We look forward to seeing you there. Go Pirates!
Ahoy there, mateys! It's Captain Jack Spare of R&R Tire Express, your local tire and wheel shop in Greenville, offering affordable, easy payment options for easy ownership. Savvy? Our customers love our treasure of tires and wheels, easy payment options, and customer care package too. To learn more about R&R, stop by 3920 US 264 or rnrtires.com.
This is Stephen Igoe, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 1 of Pirate Radio Live. This hour is brought to you by University PC Care, your local tech support experts for all your personal and business needs. Visit universitypccare.com to learn more today. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Are you in outside sales and looking for an opportunity to increase your earning potential? CopyPro has been in Eastern North Carolina for over 45 years and continues to grow each year, and they are in need of more sales professionals with a desire to potentially make a six-figure income. Do you have what it takes? Visit copypro.net today to submit your resume and to learn more. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Rock.
All right, back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday as we wrap up hour number 1 coming up at 4 o'clock. We'll talk to Gene Briggs, the head coach of the Greenville Babe Ruth All-Stars, as they begin Southeast Regional play right here in their backyard at Guy Smith Stadium. We'll give you all the details on that, how you can see some local baseball as they try to win and move on to the Babe Ruth World Series. Coming up at 4:40-ish, Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Color, is going to join us on the program. Also in the second hour, we got a new podcast coming up tonight at 6, and this is a big one. There's always little signs that football season is on the horizon, and one of those is Phil Steele coming on Pirate Radio. Instead of doing it on Pirate Radio Live, how about an extended Phil Steele edition of the Pirate Radio podcast? Troy D going one-on-one with Phil Steele. That'll be coming up at 6 o'clock. We'll give you a couple of teaser bits from that coming up in hour number 2 of today's show. So, it's in fact, we got a... Chandler, do you mind running and grabbing the Phil Steele?
Yeah, no problem.
On top of the Ellerby has a mountain of Phil Steele magazines in his office, and we added the latest edition, and it is the College Football Bible. In fact, I might take this home with me and and get to researching some of these opponents. But football time almost here, 38 days away from kickoff, ECU and Appalachian State. Also, training camps opening up. The Cowboys and Steelers opened camp last week because they will be participating in the Hall of Fame game next Thursday. Next Thursday is the first preseason game. Thank you, Chandler. In the NFL, and now other teams starting to report to camp, including my Washington football team, Chandler's Panthers, Shirley's Dolphins, and the Green Bay Packers. And guess who was there? Aaron Rodgers showed up the first day of Packers training camp. I think most of this is so he won't get fined $50,000 a day for missing. In fact, in the ESPN article, it says that just because Rodgers reported doesn't necessarily mean he will practice when the team hits the field for the first time on Wednesday. It's possible he and the team will agree that he should sit out until final details are ironed out. That is according to the story on ESPN.com regarding Rodgers showing up. So you've got what you want this time of year is zero news from your team. You want no injuries, no arrests, no holdouts, none of that crap. And it's not a great time for NFL news because usually when news comes out in July and August, it's bad news. But for the Packers, I guess that's good news that at least Aaron Rodgers shows up. And I still think he's going to play. I guess he'll be disgruntled when he plays. He's kind of a drama queen anyway. Yeah. I think he kind of likes all this stuff.
Play this year and then leave. Yeah. I believe the contract they made up for him kind of sets him up to walk out the door when this 2021 season ends.
How long did the Panthers sign Darnold? Is it 1 or 2 years?
Oh, boy, I'm not sure.
Either way, the Panthers, and we'll see what Darnold does.
You got the fifth-year option on him, too.
We'll see what he does, but they could use a quarterback. Washington has Fitzmagic. He signed a 1-year deal. We could use a quarterback. There's going to be a lot of teams in the running for his services if he does become available.
And you know what is also going on right now in the National Football League that we were kind of talking about week on end a few months ago. Deshaun Watson apparently is
fascinating.
In Houston, poor David Culley.
They
are allowing him to kind of test the waters of the National Football League and see if he can find anywhere he wants to go.
I heard Brandon Walker talking about this on Pick Central on Barstool and brought up a good point that it might have been him, it was somebody on the show. So he's going to show up to camp, but he doesn't want to play for the Texans, and they're opening up trade talks, and there's the civil cases going against him. So
that's still not cleared up.
Is he going to go and just sit on the sidelines? Is he actually going to run plays with the team?
It's going to be awkward.
That is such a strange situation. And if you are a team, do you try to bring him in? I think Ron Rivera is going to avoid this. Now, it is a tricky deal because somebody's going to have him, and he's going to play for somebody, and he's probably going to be really good. But
he's going to bring along
how much are you willing
headlines outside the NFL.
It's a fascinating deal. It's kind of like when Michael Vick got out of prison and who was going to take a shot on him.
But see, we were talking about this months ago about because people were shopping for him, and we were talking about it that wherever he goes, he's not just going to bring. He has great talent, but he's also going to bring some trouble and some different headlines outside of the NFL. But we haven't heard anything from the Deshaun Watson, locker room lately. And now that we hear it, it's the same as it was a few months ago. It's Deshaun Watson is out there to be acquired by a team, but he still has this trouble. And the question is who's going to get him? Who's going to want him?
I heard a proposed offer that a Dolphins fan said. Shirley, I'll ask you. It was Tua, Xavier Howard, and 2 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson. Would you want Deshaun Watson on the Dolphins? As you take a big swig of Sprite Zero. I mean, that's kind of the point that you got to think about it like that.
Yeah.
Because you want him on the field. Do you want the guy that is at the least creepy and pervy. I don't know how to describe exactly what.
I mean,
he did.
yeah, he's at this point he's a lightning rod for negative publicity. So you do look at it from that point. I also look at it from I look at it also from the fact that he's a seasoned veteran, as opposed to Tua. So there's that factor. Do you want to bring somebody that has, how much life does he have left in the NFL versus a guy that technically is unproven?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into it.
You gave me a non-answer there.
Well, yeah.
Do you want Watson on the team?
I mean, I would take that as a no.
I would say no.
I think I'm leaning no too, and I don't think Rivera would do it either.
I just think that's a headache you don't want to have, and you've got enough problems as a Dolphins organization.
Yeah, but out of the three teams here, the Dolphins, Panthers, Washington football team, your team's the one that kind of fits the mold when it comes to. I mean, are y'all comfortable at quarterback?
More comfortable than you.
With Sam Darnold
and you.
Yeah. I'm not comfortable. I love Tua, but I'm not comfortable yet.
For one season, I would take Fitzpatrick over Darnold and Tua.
Really?
Yeah.
Because he's proven. Fitzpatrick.
Well,
no,
he's not. When I say he's proven,
he's been on 14 different football teams.
Can I finish my sentence?
And he's also like almost 40 years old.
One season. You like Darnold more than Fitzpatrick?
Hell yeah.
You're crazy. You're insane.
How?
What? You want to look at numbers?
Are you sure that's not wine in that glass?
I mean, coffee, and it's been empty since about 10:30 this morning.
You want to do? Look, I get it. None of these guys. Tua has the most upside. Yeah. Darnold could still turn out to be a good quarterback. We know what Fitzpatrick is at this point. I'm not saying any of these guys are good, but Sam Darnold. I mean, do you want me to read his career numbers to you?
You can all you want to, but guess who he played for? He played for Adam Gase and the New York Jets. Bless his heart.
Bless his heart.
And he gets a second chance. And look, he's got weapons with Robbie Anderson, who he is familiar with his time in New York. Look at Adam Gase. Adam Gase was the Miami Dolphins head coach. Who was his quarterback? Ryan Tannehill. He had a terrible start to his NFL career. What's he doing now? He's lighting it up with weapons in Tennessee with A.J. Brown. And guess what? He has Julio Jones now.
All right, now we're talking about a completely different quarterback. Or would you rather have...
But I'm trying to get... But see,
I know your point.
Sam Darnold is not proven yet because he hasn't played with the Panthers. But if we want to see another example of a Ryan Tannehill, I could see it in Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold is kind of a young Fitzpatrick at this point. 45 touchdowns, 39 picks. Would you rather have...
I just hope he doesn't bring the ghost with him to Carolina.
Would you rather have DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson or Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuel?
DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson.
You're
DJ Moore and Robbie Anderson.
You'll never say anything bad about a Panthers player.
No. I have plenty of bad things to say. But see,
that's the difference between you and Clip, because Clip's not afraid to call out a player.
I rarely say anything good about my team.
Exactly.
No, but here's the thing. I have plenty of bad things to say for different Bobcats / Hornets, for Nationals.
Hornets.
But for the Panthers, I just can't find anybody. And Tony Dunn is somebody that really has a long list.
All right, we got to get...
Speaking of Hornets, did you see that LiAngelo Ball had signed with the Hornets in their developmental league?
I think one ball's good enough.
I did not know that.
Yeah, I think 2 balls is a disaster for the Hornets.
Okay, we'll save that cut. Play that. Put that right by swinging dingers, Shirley. 2 balls is enough.
Swinging dingers? Yeah, 2 balls is enough.
All right, we got to get to Gene Briggs. We're going to ask him for his power rankings of Sam Darnold, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and Tua Tagovailoa. So get that ready, Gene. We'll also talk some baseball when we return on Pirate Radio Live on a Tuesday after this.
Do you find yourself hungry, but looking for some new and different options? Then the Bodega Market Cafe in Uptown Greenville is for you. They offer a full-service menu featuring breakfast, lunch, and dinner, also with a variety of unique vegan selections. Dine in or sit outside in their great outdoor dining area. Plus, they're always ready for pickup or delivery. Open 24/7 for your convenience. The Bodega Market Cafe, located in Uptown Greenville, across from the BB&T.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Down East Wood Ducks baseball is back. Come out Saturday, July 31st for the Beach Jersey Giveaway, presented by Lenore Community College. Free to the first 1,000 fans. Be sure to purchase your game tickets in advance at woodducksbaseball.com or call the Wood Ducks offices at 252-686-5164. See you at Granger Stadium when gates open at 5 and first pitch is at 6. Go Woodies!
You've worked hard to start your business and working even harder to make it successful. And that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from Select Bank and Trust. And as the business world throws you curveballs, we're here to be responsive to your needs. Our team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelds and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're gonna love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
Have you stopped doing your favorite activity due to chronic aches and pains? Let Eastern Physical Medicine and Rehab help. They provide regenerative injection therapy that can help with osteoarthritis, joint pain, carpal tunnel, and plantar fasciitis. Eastern Physical Medicine and Rehab will help you get back into the groove. Eastern Physical Medicine and Rehab, 2245 Stantonsburg Road, across from the hospital. Call 215-9294 for an appointment today.
Warren's Hot Dog Pizza, homemade lemonade.
Hey Pirate Nation, Warren's Hot Dogs 2 locations are open for business in Greenville and Chocowinity. Both locations have drive-through windows, so stop by today for hot dogs, pizzas, subs, apple and peach turnovers, homemade lemonade, and breakfast in Chocowinity, featuring homemade cheese, ham, and chicken biscuits, plus sausage dogs and more. Warren's in Greenville across from Ron Ayers Motorsports and in Chocowinity next to the fire department. Warren's Hot Dogs. Want some? Get some.
This is Stephen Igoe. You've heard from me plenty on Pirate Radio Live and perhaps have read some of my work on hoistthecolors.net. Now, get an extension of our in-depth coverage on the Hoist the Colors podcast. From game previews to immediate post-game analysis to emergency podcasts for breaking news, we've got you covered. A cast of guest co-hosts from fans, former coaches, and other writers join me for 2 podcasts weekly to break down all things ECU athletics. Subscribe to Hoist the Colors now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts.
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, W224EI Greenville, WDLX Washington, and W281CH Washington. You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local and print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com, the official sportswear provider of Pirate Radio for 18 years. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's Clip Brock.
All right, back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Shirley, we're watching CBS Sports HQ in here. And they're talking about Damian Lillard. I'm a big Dame fan. He's the second all-time leading scorer in Blazers history. Who is the all-time leading scorer? Shirley Rhodes.
In Blazers history?
Think Blazers.
I was thinking Clyde?
Clyde the Glide Drexler is correct. Well done, Shirley Rhodes. 1 for 1. We'll stop there.
Part of the Phi Slamma.
That is correct. There you go. I figured that'd be in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I usually try to ask you questions in your era to do it now.
Yeah, I try.
All right, well done. All right, welcome in to the Pirate Radio studios, Gene Briggs. He is back to talk about the Babe Ruth All-Stars from Greenville hosting the Southeast Regional at Guy Smith Stadium. Gene, welcome back to the studio. How you doing, man?
Doing good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Doing well. And before we get started, Gene, are you a football fan?
Huge football fan.
Who's your team?
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Okay. They're going to need a quarterback soon. I got one right now.
I've needed one for 2-3 years now. They refused to draft one.
Well, they did draft several, but not good ones.
Questionable draft picks.
All right, I need you to do the power rankings for Ryan Fitzpatrick, Sam Darnold, and Tua Tagovailoa.
Are we talking for 1 year?
For 1 year.
1 year. Number 1, definitely Fitzmagic.
Easy.
Tua, and then, of course, Sam Darnold at the bottom.
Oh, Chandler.
Sam Darnold last?
Chandler.
He is losing his mind over here.
That's got to hurt.
Oh, man.
And this guy knows his quarterback. He's watched Big Ben play.
Hey, well, at least you have a great quarterback to follow on with Dwayne Haskins.
Wow.
Also got 6 rings to fall back on.
Hey. I like this.
Oh, man. Well, when you bring up rings, that's the end of the conversation when it comes to the Carolina Panthers.
Panthers haven't been around long, but they have lost two Super Bowls.
Yep.
So there you go. Chandler, when were you born?
In 98.
Jeez.
Oh, yeah. Washington has not won one in your lifetime.
Gene's right around there, too.
Dolphins haven't won one in your lifetime.
I feel so freaking old.
Yeah.
I was a year out of college when you were born.
Gene, you've been alive for what, 2 Steelers Super Bowls?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, good for you. Whatever. Let's change the subject.
All stars.
Yeah. Let's talk Babe Ruth All Stars first. Gene, how are you health wise? Are you probable, questionable to coach tonight? I understand you had an injury since last time we talked.
I was questionable about 2 days ago. I'm a full go now.
What happened?
So Saturday we had a practice. We were doing hitting all day. I was throwing batting practice. One of my players hit one right back at me, hit me square in the side of the head, knocked me right out.
So when you say knock me out, were you actually out? Like
I went down. I lost vision for at least 5-10 seconds.
That's scary,
and
man.
And then I rolled over. I came back. I got up, started walking, was kind of all over the place. I went and got tested. No concussion, no fracture. So we're good to go.
Just got dinged up a little bit. So yeah, where was the L screen? Like,
it was right in the middle. I just was dumb enough to not get behind it.
There you go. Hey, you live and you learn, right? You're still young in this coaching thing. So
I'll never make that mistake again.
Yeah, you might want to wear a catcher's mask when you're out there from now on. So the injury's healed. You're good to go for tonight, right? You guys are playing in a couple hours.
Yep, we play at 6:30 tonight, Guy Smith Stadium.
Who are you facing off against?
Playing East Orange from Orlando, Florida.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Chapel Hill, Orange County, but East Orange from Florida. Once again, Gene, how many teams are in the Southeast Regional?
We got 6 teams.
Okay. Double elimination format. So you win tonight or lose tonight. What does your schedule look like for this week?
If we were to win tonight, we would play at 1:30 tomorrow. If we were to lose, we would play at 4:30 tomorrow.
Okay. So either way, you're going to be playing tomorrow. Now, This is at Guy Smith Stadium, so it's really cool. You want to see some live local baseball and root on Greenville, some good baseball at that. You can check it out, and it is open to the fans. Any costs to get in?
Nope, free to watch.
All right, and concessions?
Yep, they got plenty of concessions. They got food, drinks, candy. They got it all. Might as well come out.
All right, good deal. So it's a real deal going on at Guy Smith Stadium. So how confident are you, Gene? I mean, how much... In fact, we had Corey Scott on yesterday talking about the Little League All-Stars. He said that his coaches have spray charts on these Little League teams, which is fascinating.
That is fascinating.
I don't know how they could possibly do that. How much do you know about the competition you'll be seeing this week?
Based on the past, I know the Florida teams are going to be good. They're always good. But the other teams, Stanley County, they're always going to be decent. Virginia, I have no idea about. Usually Virginia puts out a new team every year, so they're always going to be good. And then Crystal Coast, we already know about them. We played them twice. So I have a decent idea of all the teams that are coming.
And as far as your team goes, we said some names last week, Gene, but who's starting for you tonight? Who are some guys? Let's start with the pitching.
Matt Conway will be on the mound tonight. He started game 1 for us in the state tournament too.
All right. How many starters do you have? Are there any? First of all, are there any restrictions on pitch counts?
There is a pitch count. It's not that bad though. You can throw 45 pitches in one day and still pitch the next day.
Okay. So how many starters do you have lined up, ready to go?
I'd say about 4 or 5 guys ready to go.
So you're good for the tournament.
Should be.
As far as that goes. Who's providing the pop in the lineup for you guys the next few weeks or days?
I think in the state tournament, Davis Hathaway, our catcher, and Jay Tyndall, our second baseman, I think those two led the team in hits. J.J. Merrick had a good amount of hits. Will Bunting had some hits. We hit pretty much 1 through 9, 1 through 10, however many we start, but we had a ton of hits. Hopefully the bats will stay hot this week too.
What kind of is that the strength of this team, or is it the pitching? What kind of scores have you had throughout this run you've been on?
I think the strength is really our hitting because we hit all throughout the lineup. We hit at the right times. We hit when we need to hit. The biggest thing was I remember in one of the games we scored 4 runs with 2 outs and nobody on base.
Wow.
So we hit at the right time when we hit when we need to hit.
Gene Briggs joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios. It'll be, and once again, there are so many classifications where it comes to Little League, Babe Ruth, everything. What are the age groups for this Babe Ruth team?
For this team, it's just 15-year-olds. Well, 13 to 15, but majority 15-year-olds.
Okay. And if you are able, how many games do you have to win to advance to the World Series?
I think if you were to not lose, you would have to win 4. But if you lose, you would have to go to the losers bracket and win about 6.
It starts tonight. You're going to play tomorrow, win or lose. So how many days is this tournament, Gene?
It'll last through Friday.
Okay, you'll get it all in by that point.
Mm-hmm.
Any double headers, I guess? There's going to have to be.
Yeah, there's going to be multiple. I know there's only 2 games a day because 2 teams got buys with 6 teams. Tomorrow there's going to be at least 4 games. Then the day after will be 3 or 4 too. So there's gonna be a lot of baseball playing.
So you're ready to roll for that. What and can folks find game times? Do you have like a Facebook or a website?
There is. The Babe Ruth Southeast region has the full bracket posted, and you can find it all over Facebook. I know my mom's posted it. I think Next Level Training Center has posted it too.
And everybody should be following. I think I follow both your parents, but especially at Big Stanley.
Absolutely.
On Twitter.
That's a Twitter account you need to follow.
He's a fantastic follow. So I don't know your dad personally. I just know him through social media, and he's a funny dude.
Yeah,
so
hilarious guy.
Do we need to talk about who's blogged him on social media, or is that for off the air? A couple of people in ECU's past have him blocked.
Yeah,
apparently.
Cecil Staten and Jeff Comfer have Big Stanley blocked on Twitter.
That is the rumor I heard from sources via DMs. So anyway. All right, so Gene Briggs joining us here today on Pirate Radio Live. Gene, let's look, you're going to be focused on the game. Let's get your mind off that, get the nerves off a little bit. How are your Steelers going to do in 2021?
Whew, there ain't no telling. We started 11-0 last year.
Who'd you lose to first?
Way off a cliff. The football team.
That's right. It was a football team that played on a random ass Monday afternoon or something.
Yeah. But I don't know. It's gonna be tough. We have the hardest schedule in the NFL. So
look, you guys have had a hell of a run. So I'm not picking on you or anything, but could you describe your feelings watching that Browns playoff game? Did it even seem real? Because I'm not a fan of either team. It didn't seem real to me.
It was brutal. If I remember, I think the Browns scored on a fumble recovery 2 plays in.
Yeah.
And as soon as that happened, I just gave up.
Wow. Well,
15 seconds into the game, I was like, yep, there's no way.
I would say usually there's a lot of time left, but you made the right call there to give up when you did. That was brutal. So I don't know. It could be the end of an era with Ben Roethlisberger. Could be the end of an era with Mike Tomlin. We'll see. How long.
To see.
Never had a losing season, which is still incredible.
Incredible. It's hard to do.
But should you have won more? I don't know. It's Steelers with their situation. The Packers, if Aaron Rodgers goes, we could see kind of a changing of the guard around the league here pretty soon.
Yep, and then they'll be gone, and 6 years from now, Tom Brady will still be winning Super Bowls.
That one thing stays the same, unfortunately. He's out of the AFC for you. Now he's in the NFC wrecking shop. All right, Gene. So, once again, who, what, when, where, why? We got the Greenville Babe Ruth All-Stars going at it tonight, 6:30, facing a Florida team. Who's on the other side of the bracket that you? Who are the two teams you may face tomorrow?
We will face the winner or loser of Charlottesville, Virginia, and Crystal Coast, North Carolina.
All right, there you go. And you said you've already faced them, right?
Crystal Coast twice, yes.
They got a bye.
Mm-hmm. No, they did not get a bye.
You got a bye?
They played tonight. Tallahassee got a bye.
Okay.
And Stanley County got a bye.
10-4.
Their first game will be tomorrow.
All right, there you go. Gene Briggs, head coach of the Greenville Babe Ruth All-Stars. If you win, you move on to the World Series, which we talked about is in Texas.
Eagle Pass, Texas.
And, yeah, your summer could be completely full of baseball, rolling right into football season.
Oh, yeah.
So good luck to you guys. Thanks for hanging out, Gene.
Yep, thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks for having me.
And keep us posted the rest of the week if you want to chime in on how you guys are doing. You're welcome to it. So
absolutely, thank you.
All right, Gene Briggs joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios says Ryan Fitzpatrick is better than Sam Darnold and Tua Tagovailoa. We will take a timeout, come back, and Phil Steele coming up 6 o'clock. You can tune into that on the way to Guy Smith Stadium to watch baseball tonight. It'll be part of the Pirate Radio podcast, so it'll be available to download, but we'll have it on the airwaves coming up at 6 o'clock. Troy D went one-on-one with the college football guru, and we got a few clips of that coming up when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Best-selling author and motivational speaker John Gordon.
The research shows those are the marriages that are more likely to stay together, where the spouse says, or the partner says, hey, can you show me this, or can you help me with the groceries? And you just make those small moments, small interactions of time. That is really the number one predictor of whether a marriage stays together.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
Wait up. Papa John's has a new stuffed crust? Oh, we did it. All our tweets, DMs, and carrier pigeons worked! This ain't just stuffed crust. This is Papa John's crust. Stuffed.
Hey, Pirate fans, order the new Epic Stuffed Crust one-topping pizza for only $12. And now you can have the stuffed crust as an add-on to any large hand-tossed pizza. Place your order online at papajohns.com and sign up for Papa Rewards. Papa John's, the official pizza of the ECU Pirates.
E&S Hemp Company in Winterville is your premier CBD store. At E&S Hemp Company, they have helped hundreds of people just like you get relief from joint pain, anxiety, insomnia, and more by providing you the highest quality of CBD products available. E&S Hemp Company has a great selection of only the safest, purest, and most beneficial hemp-infused products available, from honey, tea, coffee, candles, and more. E&S Hemp Company, Fire Tower Road in Winterville, and online at eshempcompany.com.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
Ahoy, mateys! To keep those cars clean, you need the Pirates Cove Fast Pass.
Greenville's original express car wash is now offering a fast pass for as low as $19.99. That's one pass, 4 locations, and unlimited washes. Visit us in Greenville on Fire Tower Road, Memorial Drive, and East 10th Street, and also in New Bern on Glen Burnie Road. And by popular demand, Pirates Cove on Fire Tower Road is now offering interior cleaning.
So we have you surrounded. Pirates Cove, the official car wash partner of ECU Athletics.
Hello, this is Talbot Green with Angel Oak Home Loans. Now's the time to take advantage of the opportunity to buy more home or refinance your current mortgage at historically low rates. The combination of our local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for most financial situations. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060.
NMLS 1719250, Equal Housing Lender.
While you're sleeping, our whole hogs are slow cooking over wood to create that bite that Eastern North Carolina is known for. I'm Sam Jones, and for more than 3 generations, my folks have been the torchbearers for what whole hog barbecue is supposed to be. At Sam Jones, you'll find plenty of smoke, but no mirrors. Everything, and I mean everything, is made fresh daily, including our sides, sweets, and sauces. Come on over and see us at Sam Jones Barbecue, and I bet you'll be able to taste our passion in just one bite. Sam Jones Barbecue, Fire Tower Road.
Hi, this is Karen Staten with AG Home Solutions. Thinking of remodeling? We are your one-stop shop for all your home design needs. Our AG Home Solutions design team has over 25 years of experience. Need a new bathroom or kitchen? Looking to upgrade your cabinets, countertops, tile, or flooring? The Design Center is open to all homeowners and contractors. Call us for an appointment. Visit agshomesolutions.net and mention Pirate Radio to receive a $100 discount through the end of August. AG Home Solutions, turning your remodeling dreams into reality.
Hi, this is Parker Bunch. When I'm not hitting dingers or going viral, I'm listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back from Sales to Service. Greenville Auto World has all of your vehicle needs covered. Shop all their inventory now at greenvilleautoworld.net. If you're also looking for someone to service your vehicle, Greenville Auto World has a full service and repair facility, brakes, oil changes, tires, inspections, and they can repair any kind of vehicle. Greenville Auto World, across from Speedway at Bells Fork and online at greenvilleautoworld.net. Thanks to Tim Sutton and Jim Rogers of Greenville Auto World for their sponsorship of the program. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Barak.
All right, back with you on Pirate Radio Live. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we will preview the 2021 ECU defensive backs with Stephen Igoe. We got our position preview coming up as we'll talk DBs. We will also, coming up at 6 o'clock, have a great edition of the Pirate Radio podcast. How about Troy D one-on-one with Phil Steele? He'll join Troy D, and we'll air that for the first time coming up at 6 o'clock. It'll be available to download as well, and you can hear what Phil Steele has to say about the East Carolina Pirates. I'm not going to give that to you right now. You're going to have to get that on the airing of the podcast or when you download it. But we will hear what Phil Steele has to say about the American Athletic Conference in 2021 as he talked to Troy D about the AAC. His final words of this statement, Chandler, it's a tough league. So stay tuned for that. But he talks about the teams in this league, starting with Cincinnati at UCF and the rest. And here's what he said to Troy D on the Pirate Radio podcast about the American.
Well, I tell you what, it has been for the last couple of years and is again this year the best of the group of 5 conferences, I think, by far. And when I look at the AAC this year, I think they have a legitimate playoff contender in Cincinnati, and I'll tell you why. You know, Cincinnati last year finished number 8 AP, and I believe they start in the top 10 this year, which is a great place to start. They've got 7 starters back on offense, 7 starters back from a fantastic defense. In fact, I rate their defense number 7 in the country. Desmond Ritter, their quarterback, is NFL caliber. And if they start the season, let's say number 10 in the polls, you know, week 3 they play Indiana on the road. And if they can pull an upset, and it'd be a minor upset, but Indiana will be a ranked team, they probably move up to number 9, maybe number 8. And then 2 weeks later, after a bye, they play Notre Dame in South Bend. Notre Dame will be a top 10 team. Beat them, they're probably up to 7 or 6. Run the table in the schedule this year in the American Conference, and all of a sudden, a couple teams lose in front of them, they could actually make the playoff. And I'll say this, this year, if you take a look at all the schools, and I talked to about 110 of the 130 head coaches this year, almost every coach has 15, 16, 17 returning starters. A lot of them have veteran quarterbacks because everybody gets that extra year of eligibility. But the 4 playoff teams from last year all have 9, 10, 11 returning starters. All of them lost their starting quarterbacks. So if there's ever a year for the pack to catch up to the top 4, this would be it. And I think that opens up the door for Cincinnati a little bit. But the rest of the conference, very competitive. I mean, UCF is probably going to get voted second place in the American Conference this year. They've got 9 starters back on D, and don't knock their defense too bad for last year. Remember, at the end of the season, I think they had about 2 starters left from the beginning of the year due to some dismissals, some opt-outs, and things like that, and that's when they were giving up 46 points to USF. I like the defense. They bring in a big Cat Bryant from Auburn. They bring in Marco Damio from Auburn on the defense, and offensively, Coach Malzahn's done a great job bringing in Mark Anthony Richards at running back from Auburn. He brings in R.J. Harvey from Virginia, Isaiah Bowser from Northwestern, a receiver. He brings in a Tennessee transfer, an Auburn transfer, and the offensive line, another Tennessee transfer. So they're going to be a loaded team. Dylan Gabriel's back at quarterback. I think they're a legitimate contender. Houston. Now, Dana Holgerson hasn't had a usual first 2 years. His first year was a year where everybody redshirted after week 4. His second year, they missed their first 5 games due to COVID, and then finally got to playing and went 3-5. This year, Houston's going to play up to its talent level. They're dangerous. SMU has got Tanner Mordecai coming in at quarterback. I think he'll do just fine, replacing Sean Buechele, and I believe that they are clearly one of the top teams. They also had Isaac Slade-Matua from Oregon, one of their top linebackers that they added after the magazine came out. Tulsa was in the championship game last year, and when I talked to Coach Montgomery and went over the team with him, I asked him about the quarterback situation because it was a concern of mine, and he said he's not concerned about the quarterback situation. So that was a positive thing for Tulsa because last year I said I was concerned about their defense. They only had 4 returning starters, and he said, I'm not concerned about the defense, Phil, and they only allowed 333 yards per game, so I think their quarterback will be just fine, and they're a contender. And then how do you discount Memphis? Memphis has 8 starters back on offense, 8 on defense. They bring in Grant Gunnell, I think a big-time piece from Arizona at the quarterback position. They're a loaded team, and then, as mentioned, East Carolina, I think, is the best of the rest, but I could keep going on the American teams. Navy's going to be a vastly improved team. Coach Niumatalolo said that last year they didn't get the have contact, and he thought that greatly affected his team. They're a team that thrives on physicality. He thought both his team and Temple's team were 2 very physical teams that were hurt by the lack of contact, and those 2 teams are going to be much improved. And then, Jeff Scott, year 2 at South Florida, they're improved. This is a tough league.
Tough league, according to Phil Steele. As he talked about the teams at the top and the pecking order in the American, starting with Cincinnati, UCF, and certainly some others as well. Shirley Chandler, there are 130 FBS teams. Where do you think Phil Steele has East Carolina ranked, the power poll, heading into the season?
130.
Okay, you're just saying the number. You're not. That's not your guess.
No, that's not my guess. No, I was
talking
just
out
saying.
loud.
Yes, I was talking out loud.
I'm going to go like 74.
Okay. I mean,
I'm going to go a little bit higher than that. I'm going to go probably 89.
I was very surprised because we know how bad ECU's been.
Mm-hmm.
The lack of wins. We did see signs of improvement. We also saw them, Mike Houston, I'm not going to call it a signature win, but his first, big time, okay, maybe we got something going here win against SMU to close out the season last year.
Momentum is there.
They got Uncle Mo is around. He's hanging out. I was surprised to go up the list here and see East Carolina at number 69.
Wow. Really?
In his power poll.
How about that?
They're ahead of Tulane. I gotta see it to believe it. We hadn't been able to beat them the past few years.
I think that's untrue.
One spot, thank you, Corey, behind Memphis, who we look at, and they've taken a few steps back, I guess, with Norvell leaving, but we look at them as a good team. But East Carolina, Phil Steele has them ahead of Missouri, Oregon State, Kansas State, Maryland, Georgia Tech, Virginia. Competent college football teams.
Wow.
Thanks, Phil. That's some strong praise for a guy that the guy knows his stuff.
Yeah.
So if he says East Carolina is 69th out of 130 teams, I'm pretty cool with that.
I'm trying to find now. He's got South Carolina at 88. I'm trying to find where Appalachian State is. They're at number 42 on his power poll.
Well, they supposedly Appalachian State has a pretty decent defense, so that probably could be the reasoning why their ranking is so high.
And of course, they're favored over East Carolina. Marshall is at 92. So again, when I see that App State ECU line, it makes me a little nervous. But when I see that Phil Steele has them 69th and ahead of some of the teams he does, that makes me feel a little better heading into the season.
I'm pretty cool with that.
All right, what about North Carolina? Sam Howell and the Tar Heels expected to have a big year, but aren't they always? And they always underperform. Could be different with Mac Brown and his feet wet now back at North Carolina and Sam Howell at quarterback. NC State, Dave Dorn in the pack had a good year last year.
Leary back at quarterback.
Duke had a down year last year. And what about Wake Forest? Troy D asked him about the in-state ACC teams, and here was Phil's response.
Well, let's start with NC State. They are loaded. They are the second best team in the Atlantic Division. They've got practically everybody back, 19 starters. Devin Leary is going to be healthy at quarterback. Love the running back room. Thing I don't like about NC State's their damn schedule. They have to play Mississippi State on the road. They, of course, play Clemson. They get them at home, which means one of your winnable games is going to be on the road. Then out of the Coastal, they draw Miami and North Carolina, the top two teams. So I hate their schedule, but I think they're the second most talented team in the Atlantic. Now, as far as North Carolina goes, the biggest question mark is how do you replace a couple of 1,000-yard running backs and your top two receivers from last year? The receivers, I think, are going to be replaceable because Sam Howell throwing the football. I think that his top two receivers this year will match last year's De'Ami Brown and Daz Newsome stat-wise. But the running backs concern me a little bit. I don't think they're going to have 2,000-yard rushers that combine to average about 7.5 yards per carry. They'll be good with Ty Chandler and company back there, but the running back position a little bit weaker. However, the offensive line's stronger, and the defense for North Carolina, they've got size, speed, athleticism. These guys look good getting off the bus. It's going to be the best defense they've had under Mac Brown, and they are a legitimate contender with Clemson in the ACC, and my favorite to win the Coastal. Duke, I mean, last year was just a nightmare season. Minus 19 in turnovers. Everything that could go wrong went wrong for them. They'll be a much improved team this year, but they're playing in a brutal division there in the Coastal Division where almost any of those teams could win it. So I think Duke's going to finish towards the bottom of the Coastal this year, but they will be a much improved team. And, you know, Cutcliffe's a guy who develops players, and I think the fact he didn't have spring and didn't have that time to develop the players last year really affected him. And finally, with Wake Forest, talking to Coach Clausen, I believe I've talked to Coach Clausen every single year that he has been a head coach, and every year I pick his team low, and every year he finishes above where I am, and every year he lets me know when he talks to me on the phone. But this year he made an interesting point to me. And if you look at Wake Forest end of the season, the last 3-4 years, they usually lose some games down the stretch. And he said, Phil, we lose those games because we're so thin and we just don't have it at the end of the year. But this year, they went 3 deep in spring. So he feels that they'll actually have the depth late in the year to win those games. And unlike NC State, Wake Forest plays a very manageable schedule. They don't have to play Miami of Florida, and they play Clemson, but they play them on the road, which means they get the key games at home. So they are my number 6 most improved team in the country. I think they make a big jump this year.
There is Phil Steele on the in-state teams in the Atlantic Coast Conference heading into 2021. Phil Steele talked a lot about East Carolina, and you'll hear that coming up at 6 o'clock on the Pirate Radio podcast with Troy D. and Phil Steele. It's also available for you to download and listen to at your own time. And Phil Steele Magazine also out now, and we got one here in the Pirate Radio studios. All right, we will have our own football preview when we return. Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, joins us on Baby Watch, and also covering Pirate football. Well, mostly he's covering Pirate baseball, according to the guy on Facebook who wants to see some football coverage from Igoe. We might dive into that, but we will talk Pirate football and more with Stephen Igoe from Hoist the Colors when we return on Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey, Troy D here with my good friend Kelvin Rawls from Pest Tech. Kelvin, I just want to thank you and Chris and all the great folks at Pest Tech for such awesome service. You totally eliminated the mosquitoes in my backyard, plus the fire ant problem I was having in the yard.
Hey, you're certainly welcome, Troy. I have heard the same thing from all of our customers through the year of COVID. With everyone being home, they want to enjoy the outside and being mosquito, fire ant, and pest free.
Enjoy all your property from the kitchen to the curb. Visit pesttechofgreenville.com today for complete service.
The convenience of Pitt Greenville Airport is waiting just outside your front door. Service is back, so you're connected to destinations worldwide through flights from American Airlines. Plan your next trip. Book your flights today at flypgv.com or aa.com.
Ready to travel and take a trip this summer? Avoid the long check-in lines and congestion at the big airports and fly local at PGV. Fast, convenient, and close to home, PGV has recently added more American Airlines flights. Book today at aa.com. PGV, where the pirates fly.
When fun finally returns, Bud Light Legends don't just come back. They come roaring back, carrying a cooler full of Bud Lights, an inflatable dolphin, and those Velcro pads with the balls that stick to them. And this summer, with a cooler at their side, they're gonna make up for all the fun we've missed. Welcome back, Bud Light Legends. It's time to take summer by the coolers. Cooler up at BudLightLegends.com. Enjoy responsibly. 2021 AB Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Here with Mike Mullis from Fixed NC. And Mike, you were telling me the other day, people ask you all the time, I didn't know you did that. What does that mean?
You know, anything that involves property damage repair, call us first. If it's your crawl space, you've got interior humidity issues, a water loss, your ice maker line breaks, obviously fire and smoke, everybody knows we do those. But anything that involves interior or exterior property damage, we're your repair experts.
Mike, how can everybody get in touch with you?
252-999-0001 or fixednc.com.
We paid how much for those lessons?
Shh. She's doing great.
Oh, yeah, totally. Can you pass me a Pepsi Zero Sugar? Great job, honey! Oh, look at that. That's not the end.
No way. Now it's time for the encore.
You know what? You're right. 5 times? Not enough times.
For everyone who traded in rock concerts for their kids' recitals, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
Here is your ice-cold Pepsi Zero Sugar, sir. Oh, thanks. Wanna watch the game? Ooh, little sports ball on a Sunday afternoon. Don't mind if I do. Hey, did we win? It sounds like we won. It's still the first quarter. I must be lucky. People say that about me. Tough break on that free throw there. Shouldn't be doing that. Dude, we're watching football. Come on.
For everyone who spent the entire game explaining the entire game, you've compromised enough. Pepsi Zero Sugar. That's what I like.
UBE and PirateWear.com are proud to offer the Pirate Nation its largest inventory ever. Brand new Adidas is arriving daily, along with Under Armour, Columbia, and Russell Athletic. UBE is loaded with cargo, and new items are being added daily to PirateWear.com. Be sure to check out our children's store, The Crow's Nest, for all of your young pirates. UBE and PirateWear.com, an ECU tradition for 50 years. Go Pirates!
Hi, I'm Annalie Newhoff.
And I'm Rob Campbell.
And we are with CopyPro. We have been locally owned and operated here in Eastern North Carolina for almost 50 years. CopyPro is the leader in office technology.
Does your business struggle with keeping printing costs low or producing professional documents? Here at CopyPro, total customer satisfaction is our #1 priority.
We have a variety of solutions to help reduce your printing expenses and make your business more productive. Call us today at 1-800-682-6558 or online at copypro.net.
CopyPro, we are the professional office systems people.
This is Amanda Houston, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation. Go Pirates!
You're listening to Hour 2 of Pirate Radio Live. Save lives, be a hero, and make $1,000 your very first month donating plasma at Grifols Biomat USA. Start now at Biomat USA on 505 South Memorial Drive. A better donor experience and better pay. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back for the latest breaking news, interesting stories, and awesome contests that can make you a winner. Be sure to follow Pirate Radio on our social media. On Facebook and Instagram at PR927FM. If you want to follow us on Twitter, it's at FreePR927FM. Join the over 50,000 followers today And speaking of breaking news clip, John Rothstein just tweeted out that the matchups for the 2021 Myrtle Beach Invitational has been set.
Yeah, just I'll take anybody but Oklahoma, I think, will be a good matchup.
Well, originally they had ECU taking on Old Dominion. That has now changed. It'll be Oklahoma and East Carolina.
Who, by the way, Ellerby's favorite basketball coach, Lon Kruger, no longer at Oklahoma. They got Porter Moser in as head coach.
I think this is a good thing, though.
How so?
Your non-conference.
How so, Cy Seymour?
We have the advantage.
I'm not going to go that route. I think it's a high likelihood that ECU will lose this game.
Oh, you want it from the schedule?
Yeah, like I'm tired of ECU playing Coppin State.
Yeah.
And there are going to be enough of those games on the schedule where you should be able to start off your non-conference with a decent record. I mean, so what if you lose to Oklahoma? Then you get the loser of Indiana State, Old Dominion, or something like that in round 2. So, I mean, I think even if you lose that game, it helps your strength of schedule. You get good experience against an NCAA tournament team from a year ago. I mean, I would rather challenge myself.
Oklahoma tournament team from last year. Utah State's good too, right?
Yeah, they're usually pretty good. New Mexico State's usually pretty good. Davidson's pretty good.
I wanted to play Davidson because we don't ever play Davidson, and they're right here in our state. Now they're a long ways away. We're closer to Old Dominion than Davidson, but I would have liked to seen that matchup. But instead, we get Oklahoma.
East Carolina Davidson sounds like a great championship game.
What's the TV situation for this, Steven?
I have no idea. My guess would be flowsports.net. .eu.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever watched a game on Flow Sports.
And you have to pay like $30 for a month, and you can't cancel it or something like that.
ESPN events, Myrtle Beach. Here we go. This is an ESPN event, bro. So we're on the plus, I guess.
View bracket, maybe.
It says ESPN event.
Well,
so
it could be plus, could be U.
Yeah.
I want to say that at least some of this tournament is on the U.
So I'm going to say it'll all be available on some sort of. Well, John Rothstein has the bracket before ESPN does. I'm going to say we'll be able to watch this thing. I like that it's an ESPN event. So
it's right around, before Thanksgiving, but I feel like it's.
You got a youngin' on the way, Steven, and you're going to make some football trips, but you plan to make this one. This will be a good trip, actually.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is usually these tournaments are always right in the middle of football season, and what are the dates and what is the football situation? I want to say Navy maybe is on the schedule around that time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess if it's a week before Thanksgiving, Navy.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, and
Memphis
then we play Cincinnati. Memphis?
Cincinnati's after Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So I guess it would be Navy, Cincinnati, unless I'm leaving somebody out. I know Memphis is at the end of the schedule, too.
American Championship. John Moody says this event is usually on ESPN. And if we're taking on Oklahoma, that would only be good for the TV option for that game, I would think.
I mean, that sounds like an absolute ratings draw.
Future SEC opponent, Oklahoma.
East Carolina, Oklahoma, there's not a better basketball matchup.
Speaking of Oklahoma, Cav has chimed in on Facebook Live, says, I've seen several articles today saying the AAC will get the scraps of the Big 12. ESPN has everything to do with this. They won't let a passionate fan base that pays for ESPN Plus behind. The American is going to end up being 20 to 24 teams. The AAC is here to stay.
I mean, I've read all sorts of stuff, but at this point, it's not all that we know is speculation. I mean, there's no hard evidence of anything beyond Oklahoma and Texas going to the SEC.
He also says if you think OU and Texas will not play in the SEC next year, you're not paying attention.
I mean, I think he's right there. I think all this stuff about them saying we want to get... I mean, they have to say by the letter of the law, hey, we want inclusion in 2025. But I fully expect them to be in the SEC, if not next year, the year after, by 2023 at the latest. But, you guys have talked about how awkward those games and meetings will be. I just think it's... When these things have happened in the past, they just find a way to move forward and go ahead and leave the league and get out. I was reading today, since the Longhorn Network is going to be dissolved, basically, ESPN is essentially going to foot the entire bill for Texas to lead the Big 12 and pay out that grant of rights.
I remember when East Carolina left the Colonial to go to Conference USA, like they were left out of the CAA tournament.
Yep.
So does the Big 12 pull stuff
They
like
could,
this?
Yeah, I mean they could.
They better. They should.
It all comes down to, but what is Fox and what are they going to say?
I know, but at some
Do you
point,
really want Kansas State and TCU in the title game instead of Texas and Oklahoma?
we realize that Texas and Oklahoma carry the balls of every other school in their Big 12
100%.
purse, but like at some point you need to attach those balls and say, hey, look, you're not going to play in our tournament. You're not going to be eligible for our Big 12 championship game. Let's do it. Let's rise
I
up.
would love to see it. I'm sure the Big 12 schools would love to see it, but I think at the end of the day, like I feel like just the TV networks hold so much power here that Fox can come in and be like, hey, if you guys are going to do this and cost us a chance at having OU in a championship game, then we're going to go back on some of the contract or something. I don't know enough about it, but I know that ESPN holds a lot of the cards in these deals. It's not just the conferences that are making these moves. It's ESPN especially trying to get as many assets as possible.
If they did that for basketball, nobody would really care, but OU and Texas could just play an exhibition game at the closest arena. But for football, they could say, all right, we'll just do Red River Rivalry Part 2.
And a lot of people would watch.
Yeah, rather than Baylor versus Oklahoma State or whatever.
I mean, we could talk about conference realignment for ages.
Okay, let's do it.
And we will for the next 5 years or whatever. That's the bad thing about this stuff. Once one domino starts, it's just a never-ending series of questions and unanswerable, if that's a word, scenarios as far as just so many things get thrown at us. Hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of this? I mean, really, it all comes down at the end of the day to we have to continue to wait for the dominoes to fall because we don't know if the SEC is going to try and go past even more than 16. We don't know what the Pac-12, Big 10, ACC is going to do. We don't know if the Big 12 is going to stay together. We don't know if ESPN is fully going to back the American. You know, there's all sorts of speculation that since the American is already on board with ESPN for a number of years, that ESPN could come in and say, hey, Oresco, we want you to kill the Big 12. We're going to up your team annual salary or annual money to this so you can poach some Big 12 teams and kill the Big 12 and effectively hurt Fox in the process. So all that is fine speculation, but until like something actually happens, it's hard to really say what's going to go down.
Stephen Igoe, Hoist the Colors, joining us inside the Pirate Radio studios. Stephen, are you aware that there's a fan or an account on Twitter called @AnonymousSport4 that has a picture of you as their profile picture?
I am aware, and it'd be one thing if they were being funny, but so far it's just lame.
It's very creepy.
They actually tweeted at me a few minutes ago, and somebody said, Igoe, who is leading the starting long snapper race currently? And he also commented about the Facebook post. It's probably one of those guys, honestly.
Or it could be Chandler.
Could be Chandler.
Who else cares about long snappers?
That is very true.
Interesting.
Could be Chandler, could be Clip. Actually, Clip, you would be much better at this.
If I would ever go, because people thought I was like ECU Lloyd Christmas. And I was like, no. First of all, everything I put out is me. I don't really have to hide by anything. I can kind of tweet what I want.
You're basically a parody account in yourself.
Right, yeah. Like Twitter, my Twitter is almost, like a parody. Okay, exactly what you just said. But yeah, I don't want to, I don't need to have any kind of anonymous stuff. So
you're not Josh Graham's glasses?
Definitely not. That's stupid. It's not funny. If I do something, it's going to be funny. Or at least I'm going to try. Like that is, I don't know. All these Johnny come latelys. They're going to go, you're going to see like 12 more new ECUs fill in the blank accounts before football season.
All these like sites that pop up, like ECU, like War
Sidelines.
Like, where do these places come from, man?
No offense or whatever.
I guess they're just trying to be the next ECU. I think they're all just trying to be Barstool Sports, and it's just not working.
Yeah, I mean, and good luck. I mean, maybe it will work out. But from my perspective, these pop up all the time and then just go away. And I don't know if you can do something funny and and stick with it, then I'll be on board with it. I just hadn't seen one of those yet.
Redbeard's one of the few Twitter trolls that has managed to hang around and continue to deliver pretty good content.
Redbeard's brand is about as strong as it could get right now. So, all right, before we get into our DB preview, I go wearing the Mariner shirt. So last night, I texted Igoe and said, biggest Mariners series this late in the season since? ? Because they're starting a series 3-game.
Yeah, 3 games.
3-game with the Astros. The Mariners right now sit where in the West, Steven? They are.
I think they're
6 games back.
Pretty far back of the Stros.
In the wild card, they're right there in the hunt.
Yeah.
You said they were in the mix 2018.
Yeah, 2018. I think they led at the trade deadline, but the A's went on this sick run and they just left them in the dust. And that was basically the end of the Robinson Cano, Gene Segura, Nelson Cruz era. They got rid of all those guys and started to rebuild.
This year, you weren't expecting anything.
No.
You said definitely not a playoff season. Right now, the Mariners are 9 games over 500. They've won 4 in a row, but they're down last night 6-0 in the top of the first. They then trail 7-0, and I gave up on it. But I see this morning a text from Stephen Igoe that the Mariners came back and won that game. And if you like highlights, if you like bomb, no doubt home runs, if you like grand slams and crowds going nuts, check out last night's Mariners game. A grand slam in the 8th inning to take a lead by some dude I've never heard of.
Dylan Moore.
Yeah,
that's not how I expected that
to end.
That to end, but no.
Who the hell's Dylan Moore?
Basically, the Mariners are just a bunch of nobodies at this point because they're either all prospects who have yet to really make a name for themselves, or a bunch of journeyman guys, or just fringe level players. It's kind of been a perfect storm. Really, the highlights of the rebuild have either been hurt this year or aren't producing as many expected. So it's been a bunch of veterans who have stepped up. Mitch Haniger, after the brutal injury, has had an incredible year. Kyle Seager comes up with clutch hits. Their rotation's been good. Yusei Kikuchi has been phenomenal. Logan Gilbert has been the one prospect that's come up and been really good. So they're just a fun team to watch. They fit all the. Not that anybody cares. As I'm probably the only Mariners fan in Pitt County, but they fit that mold of like scrappy, find ways to win. Their run differential is terrible, but they're 9 games over 500. So all the baseball people are like, oh, well, they can't sustain this because their run differential is minus 50 or whatever. But it's because usually when they get down, they'll just throw out their crappy relievers and save the good ones for the close games.
They take the embodiment. They are an embodiment of their head coach, their manager, Scott Service, the most boring man in baseball.
Scott Service is the most boring man in baseball, but he did get angry last night and was cussing at the Astros dugout.
Nice.
Because after that grand slam, one of the Mariners guys got hit by a pitch.
Oh, here we go. Astros. All right, so coming up tonight, the Orioles will have O's baseball for you on Pirate Radio. They have not lost since Connor Norby graced Camden Yards with his presence.
Wow.
On Friday. They swept the Nationals. Sorry, Chandler.
The Nationals are entering, not to get in this huge baseball discussion, I feel like the Nationals, this is the time, and I was texting about it with Jonathan Wagner earlier today, he used to help me out at Hoist the Colors. This is the time that the Nationals need to trade their pieces and start to build a farm system, because their farm system sucks, and if they aren't careful, they're going to be bad for about 10 years.
I saw a tweet regarding Max Scherzer, and it made me excited to not only to get him out of the NL East and everything, but just kind of to see him maybe go to a contender. Yeah. That's always exciting. You see a top-end pitcher like that go to a different team, a contender, and I saw the Rays in the tweet I saw, but you think Scherzer is dealt?
I think they would be smart to. I mean, he's got to have only so many good years left.
Right.
So, what's the point of holding on to him at this point? Strasburg's always hurt. I know they've had some injuries this year, but they just have Trey Turner's 28. Are they really going to make a World Series run the next 2 to 3 years? to me,
well, I mean, Soto, you keep him around his whole career.
You keep Soto, but I think you try to rebuild around. Soto's still low 20s, so he could be part of the next Nats team.
Yeah.
To me, I would trade Turner if you get a appropriate haul. I would trade Scherzer.
I mean, you could get a lot for those guys.
You could get a lot for Patrick Corbin too. So to me, I would reload because every farm system ranking I look at, they're 28, 29. They don't really have much hope for the future. So, they went all in with this core, and I understand it. And they won a World Series, but now you have to start rebuilding, or else it's just not going to work.
Steve and Igoe, Hoist the Colors, joining us. When we return, we'll dive into some Pirate football. We'll preview the East Carolina defensive backs. A lot of familiar names there in the secondary for East Carolina in 2021. We'll talk about those guys and also some of the new faces, the unknowns at the safety and corner position. That is on the way on Pirate Radio Live when we return after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
At U.S. Cellular, we believe everyone should get more of the latest 5G technology for less of your hard-earned money. Right now, everyone can get a free smartphone, whether you're a new customer or not, with no trade-in or hidden fees. U.S. Cellular, America's locally grown wireless. Terms apply. See uscellular.com for details.
Now that life is returning to normal, we have found a lot of good things that came from the pandemic. One of them is not having to go to the wireless store anymore. The Cellular Warehouse team has been in the business of delivering phones to your home and office for 20 years. People found out about our free delivery service and love the ease of getting a new phone, tablet, or hotspot. Call Toby Williams today at 252-799-7051 so you can start experiencing the joy of never going to a wireless store again. Cellular Warehouse, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent.
It's bow time. It's the same song, different tune. The family debates dinner, but all you're craving is a double serving of aspirin. So drop a big bow box on that pack of picky eaters. Cause when you can get 8 pieces of chicken with 4 made-from-scratch biscuits, 2 fixins, and tea, dinner's easier than hitting mute on the group chat. Bojangles, it's bow time.
Although innovative new resources such as digital media and social networks have grown in popularity, smart marketers recognize that printing is a mainstay.
We live in an age of computer hacking, scams, and fly-by-night businesses, so it's reassuring to consumers when they receive printed marketing pieces.
It exemplifies business confidence and conveys a high level of commitment.
It also fosters trust, which leads to engagement and ultimately brand loyalty.
When you're ready to grow your business, come to PIP, where business goes to grow.
Down East Wood Ducks baseball is back. Come out Saturday, July 31st for the Beach Jersey Giveaway, presented by Lenore Community College. Free to the first 1,000 fans. Be sure to purchase your game tickets in advance at woodducksbaseball.com or call the Wood Ducks offices at 252-686-5164. See you at Granger Stadium when gates open at 5 and first pitch is at 6. Go Woodies!
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
My whole business just went up in flames, but my agent was there before the fire was out. We started a plan. I've got 25 employees who could be out of a job if we didn't get this place running again. My independent agent and auto owner's insurance, they made sure we didn't skip a beat. I mean, we didn't miss a single payroll. That's incredible.
For whatever lies ahead, we're always there.
This is Brian Smith with Town Insurance in Greenville. Call me today at 756-8300. Go Pirates!
This is Pirate Radio, WGHB Farmville, 1250 and 92.7 FM Greenville, WDLX Washington, 930 and 104.1 FM Washington. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Quality Equipment is your full-service John Deere dealer with 28 locations to serve you. Quality Equipment is open in Winterville next to Sam's Club, or visit qualityequip.com to find the location near you. Now let's head back into Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
One thing we haven't talked about on this Aaron Rodgers deal is I read the ESPN article, talked about it earlier, that Rodgers showed up to camp, so he's going to avoid getting drilled for like $50,000 a day or whatever it is if he doesn't show up. But the Packers, in the article, it said the Packers may not have Rodgers do anything while he's there, and have him sit out until things are worked out contract-wise, what the future is going to look like. Well, the Packers released Blake Bortles. Adam Schefter reported an hour ago. Who's getting all the snaps in Green Bay? I guess Kurt Benkert.
It's his time to shine.
Former Pirate, former Cavalier, former Falcon. He's the one left standing there. So maybe Kurt Benkert will be throwing to Devontae Adams and those guys. What's the storylines there at Broncos camp? Your crappy quarterbacks?
I mean, nothing. It's just who's going to win between Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater.
That is not exciting.
I can't think of a more boring training camp to follow. I am a huge Broncos fan, but I can't get excited about this team at all. And they have a great roster, but they don't have a quarterback. So, am I just going to watch Sundays for Patrick Surtain Jr. and see how good he does, even though they can't score on offense?
Hey, look, man, there's nothing wrong with only watching your team when they play defense. I did it with Washington all last year.
I saw Von Miller say today, with as many weapons as ECU, as many weapons as Denver has offensively, he could play quarterback.
Yikes!
So that's a great indictment on the quarterback situation, especially when the offense is going to be terrible.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I mean,
there's a lot of teams that would like to have Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy out wide. So he does have a point. But
Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams at running back, Noah Fant at tight end.
Yeah, they got that part of it.
Offensive line is good. They just don't have a quarterback.
Yeah,
it's really, and all the talk. I knew it. I shouldn't have got my hopes up. All the stupid Aaron Rodgers talk. Mark Schlereth tweeting that they were going to trade for Aaron Rodgers and it was imminent and it was a done deal. Yeah, so much for that.
Now, would you trade 2 first-round picks and I don't know what you would have, like Drew Lock or whatever, for Deshaun Watson?
Yes.
You'd go for it?
I mean, if I know that he's going to be playing, absolutely.
Okay.
I would trade 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson.
Okay. You don't care about the off-the-field stuff?
I mean, I care about it, but also I want to see a good football product.
Right. And now he goes for the bottom line. Wins, losses.
Is he going to play? He's going to play, right?
I don't know.
He's reporting the Texans training camp.
Yeah. Now, that is really strange because he doesn't want to be there. The Texans reportedly are open to trade him. So what is he going to do there? Is he going to take snaps? Is he going to be in the meeting rooms? I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean,
that's the weird thing about Deshaun Watson is all that stuff has really kind of blown over just due to the Aaron Rodgers stuff. Now that the Rodgers situation is seemingly figured out, is like all this Deshaun Watson stuff going to come back, along with all the. I saw that now that he reported 2 more females, I guess, for.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Allegations or something like that a couple days ago.
He's a creepy fella, allegedly. All right. Pirate Radio is now available as a Spotify podcast. You can subscribe to Spotify and listen to Pirate Radio podcast that way. And we had a question on Facebook Live. How do you download if you are a Android user? Well, there's your answer. And you can get the Phil Steele podcast, goes one-on-one with Troy D. We'll air that at 6 o'clock, but that is available to download. You can visit the podcast channel, subscribe to Apple iTunes or SoundCloud or Spotify, and get that Pirate Radio podcast. Brought to you by White Claw Hard Seltzer. Visit whiteclaw.com today. We had another Pirate Radio trivia earlier today, brought to you by White Claw and AJ McMurphy's, and we'll have that out for you soon as well to check out. Stephen Asby versus John Carden. A couple of ECU alums went at it earlier today.
John Carden?
Yeah, no relation to Shane. But that will be available soon as well. All right, Igoe, let's get into East Carolina DBs 2021. I like the potential of this position. We talked about it, I think, at the end of last week, looking at it with the names returning, with the addition of potentially an impact guy in DJ Moore. The secondary has a chance. This defense is on the way back, Steven. We don't know about D-line. We like the linebackers, right?
Yeah, you like the experience and you like the versatility.
And I think I am on the path of liking what they have on the back end. Who do you start with? Jaquan McMillan?
I think you have to start with Jaquan McMillan. He is the most proven commodity. He's now posted 2 strong years. And even though he got off to a slow start last year, that Georgia State game was not his best, but he also had turf toe at the beginning of last year, which is a nagging injury that he kind of battled through. And I thought by the end of the year, he was back to the Jaquan McMillan we saw of 2019. And, you know, Pro Football Focus has graded him, I think, the highest graded defender each of the last 2 years for ECU, or at least in the top 2. So he's been incredibly consistent. He has now 7 interceptions in 21 career games. And again, last year, limited snaps at times. He's just been really steady, really reliable, very good corner. And you have to like that you can count on basically one side of the field. It's going to be pretty locked down more times than not.
What about the other side? I can't believe Nolan Johnson is a sophomore. It just seems like he's been here a while.
It's his 4th year.
And he's played, has he played both safety and corner during his time?
He was a safety as a freshman and then moved to corner, which I think has always been his natural home.
He's played a lot of football for the Pirates over the last few years. We've seen Malik Fleming out there. Who is the Hickman as well? Who's the number 2 corner behind McMillan?
I think it's based on last year. It's both Malik Fleming and Nolan Johnson. I think they like both those guys. They flip-flopped who would be out there at times. They even took McMillan out and ran with Johnson and Fleming at times. I mean, I think Fleming maybe a tad ahead of Johnson, but to me, I really like Nolan's length and size. I mean, he is a legit 6'2", 195, and he can run at corner, and that is NFL caliber measurables. You know, Malik and Jaquan are listed at 5'9" or 5'10". They have, you know, according to the updated weights, have put on some muscle this offseason, up to like 180 or so.
But you can't get any taller.
Yeah, I mean, you can only get so tall. Yeah. So I like that they have versatility. You know, Jaquan, I don't think, and Malik's not going to back down from anybody either, but if you have to have a bigger corner going the game, you now have that with Nolan Johnson.
All right, I know Sean Tucker, you're pretty high on him coming in as a cornerback. Played in 8 games last year, didn't have many stats. What about Sean Tucker returning for his second freshman season?
I think he's a guy long-term, has a lot of upside, you know, pretty lengthy, quick corner. You know, they brought in 3 true freshman corner last year, and Tucker, I thought, was probably the most advanced. But you look at, you know, all 3 of those guys, I think, came in the 150s or 160 range. They just had to get bigger. They weren't as big as they needed to be. And so they've all added some weight this offseason. I think Tucker's definitely capable of helping on special teams. I think he's capable of making the 2 deep once again. C.J. Crump's another freshman returning who has added some weight and has really kind of come along. I think both those guys will be the next wave of corners after McMillan, Fleming, and Johnson, but they could play this year. And then Hickman, who you brought up, he's another 4th-year sophomore like Nolan Johnson, who hasn't played as much on defense, has been more of a special teams guy, but, you know, the coaching staff really seems to like where he's heading. So, I mean, you have a lot of corners with eligibility left, and a position that wasn't deep at all when Mike Houston got here is suddenly building some quality depth.
Now, the way they list these things, is there, and we still got a few names to go over, but like, is the slot corner listed as a corner, or is he listed in the safeties where you could find Jaira Wilson? Like, if there's 3 corners on the field at the same time, I guess you've already named them, though, right?
Yeah.
Nolan Johnson.
I think more than likely you'll see McMillan and Johnson outside, Fleming in the slot. Like, to me, Fleming would seem to fit that slot corner mold. But again, traditionally when ECU goes 5 DBs, that nickel back is more of the safety, like a Jaira Wilson or Gerard Stringer. But if they go, if you really need coverage, to me, I would rather go a slot corner like Malik Fleming over Jaira. If you're blitzing or if it's just traditional down where they're going to run the ball, I'd rather go Jaira.
All right. I go a couple other names here. Jaden Chalmers.
Yeah.
Cornerback from Sanford.
He's got a lot of length and upside speed. He was a guy who camped a few years ago.
You can just tell by his profile, looking at his neck, that he's got a lot of length. He's got that Merton Hanks neck.
He's got, he was originally a UNC signee and didn't make it academically, went to prep school at Forky Union, and then he signed with ECU this past year. So he's a guy that, again, needs to add some muscle, but I think long-term has very good potential.
Nasir Clark is the name at the cornerback position. Seth Giles as well. I think those are the only 2 we have not mentioned at this point, Igoe.
Yeah, Clark's another guy who came in last year.
Clark, I'm sorry.
Freshman.
I said Clark.
Yeah. Clark, Nasir Clark, again, fast, super quick is the thing I noticed about his high school film, but I think he was listed last year at like 152 or something, which just needed to get bigger. He has gotten bigger. Maybe not quite as advanced as some of the other guys in the room, but has a chance long term. Seth Giles, I think, is a former walk-on and kind of a special teams guy, although he could contribute at a position as well.
Well, you like to go into a season with 4 or 5 you can trust and count on, and if you add Tucker and I guess Hickman to those 3 that we kind of know,
that's 5.
You feel pretty good, right?
Yeah, and your 3rd and 4th corners are always going to play special teams more than likely. So, and that's what Hickman. I think Hickman ranked in the top 3 or 4 in special team snaps last year. So, I mean, you've got quality depth there. Tucker played special teams, so those would be the 5 that I think you'll see first.
All right, let's go again. I mentioned this; it's so hard to go over positions these days. But is there a traditional strong safety and free safety for ECU's defense?
Essentially, yeah. So they call them field safety and boundary safety.
Yeah. So the field safety would be the free safety?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to play more to the wide side of the field and cover more ground, being coverage more.
Is that Ford?
DJ is going to play boundary as far as that's what he played in the spring. Again, these things can always change, but he's more of a big, physical guy, 6'3", 215, so you want him near the line of scrimmage, help him versus the run, that sort of stuff.
And Jawan Powell, it is Jawan, right? Mm-hmm. Jawan Powell, who came in pretty highly touted, got in trouble. Was he shooting a paint gun or something? Or did I get that wrong?
I don't know. I think that was 10 years ago.
What did he do?
Giannis Bowden was shooting a BB gun as they drove around town.
Was there a car involved?
Yeah, him and Devontae Harris broke into a car.
Yeah.
They didn't steal anything, but breaking and entering.
Just some mischief,
some stuff,
but some dumb stuff.
He was suspended half a season.
Yeah,
he's come back. That was 2 years ago at this point. Yeah. So he's come back, gotten back in the good graces of the program. Last year, I think I don't know if he started or was first off the bench in the opener, tore his hamstring and then didn't come back to the end of the year. But at the end of the year, he was starting to figure it out. And this spring, I thought he made as big a jump as anybody. He could play field or boundary. I think they like him more at field just because of the ground he can cover. But he's a very good tackler. And if he can get better in coverage, I think he can be a guy.
He's made, I feel like when he's played well. But he's only played 9 games since 2019. So
injuries and suspensions hurt him.
We need, but is he a guy you could see starting?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think so. I think they brought in a lot of safeties because, for that reason, Juwan Powell has upside, but, until he realizes it, then you have to have guys you can count on in competition and depth. So he's definitely a candidate. If he plays like he did in the spring, he's got a shot to start.
So I believe you said, Jira, Stringer,
Mooney,
and Demetrius Mooney, who moved over from corner or from running back, are playing that hybrid position or whatever.
Sam.
So let's talk traditional safeties. Who is behind Ford? I mean, we hadn't mentioned Warren Saba, who's still around here, the old man.
He was the starting field safety last year. And he was one of their highest graded players in coverage. Had the pick 6 versus Georgia State. Had a nice pick versus Tulsa when he was in the right area. So he's a guy that missed some of the spring due to recovering from surgery, but it's just he's played corner, nickel, and safety already in his career. So another guy that has versatility and experience.
I feel like last year Sean Dorso was a name that where they were counting high on, right?
He started every game.
Yeah. So where does he fit in this year?
So last year he played boundary, and he was more of the in the box safety, and he could play that again with DJ Ford coming in. They wanted to also work him at field safety in the spring, which he did. So he could play either spot. I think he'll be on special teams. I think he'll play a lot. I really think they are going to end up at 3 deep at safety Sam, at both safety spots and Sam. So I think they're going to rotate a lot at safety.
This is a unique problem to have.
Yeah, I mean,
for ECU.
They last year they had so many injuries at safety and so many departures. They were like, we're not letting this happen again. They brought in, we haven't even talked about the JUCO kids they brought in who have a chance as well. And so they just have a lot of depth on the back end.
So Powell, Ford, Dorso,
that's a pretty good,
and Saba,
top 4.
Right. Is that the top 4, you think?
I mean, in terms of returning and
that we know about
how it looked in the spring, I would say yeah.
Tegan Wilk, I've seen his name.
Tegan Wilk has played, again, he was the guy who made a jump in the spring.
Yeah.
Played Sam last year, played more safety in the spring, so he could play. He's the guy who could play either. Very good tackler, not great speed, but probably one of the best tacklers and hitters at the position.
There are a ton of safeties on this roster. Every single one of them has a different hairstyle. It's amazing. Go check that out if you get some time. Everybody, really do. And it's all unique, and it's all different.
Yep.
It's pretty crazy. All right, just something I noticed. Who are some other names, Steven, we hadn't mentioned?
So the 2 JUCO guys are Julius Wood and Kingston McKinstry, and they both have 3 years of eligibility remaining. Both should help on special teams. I've heard various good things about Julius Wood, size, speed. A Power 5 caliber player. He's got a great name if he ends up.
That is a good name.
Yeah.
Kingston McKinstry sounds like a name on the Key and Peele skit.
It does.
Kingston McKinstry. All right.
He's another JUCO kid that covers a lot of ground, tackles. So,
we're talking about a lot of guys that are going to be on the kick coverages and things
100%.
like that too, right?
The one thing that stands out about safeties in the Mike Houston era, they're not going to be afraid of tackling. If you struggle to tackle as a safety in this under this coaching staff, you're not going to play long.
Who was the guy? Robert
Kennedy.
He had the awful tackle attempt in that game.
He basically left the program,
and that was and he was never heard from again. It was kind of like when that guy got left on the island. Seth, who's the basketball player?
Seth. Oh, Seth Leday. Yeah.
Seth Leday. I want to say Seth Liddell for some reason. Seth Leday got sent to his room during a basketball tournament and never heard from him again. Robert Kennedy missed the tackle and did he even return home?
I want to say he got called out in a meeting and just left. So
yeah. And to your point,
it was one of the worst tackle attempts I've ever seen.
It was bad.
Field. I mean, it was worthy of being pointed out and saying, "This is what is this?" If you're trying to set a culture of toughness and physicality, and you're pulling that crap,
yeah.
If you can't stand up and be like, "Yeah, I should be better,"
right?
Then you don't belong in the program. So, from my understanding, that's basically what happened. Now he's at Old Dominion, and granted, he's pretty good. He's a pretty talented player. He just didn't fit the culture, and that happens. You're not going to hit on all your recruits, so you bring in a couple more safeties.
So the Pirates appear to be pretty deep at that safety position, and they like what they got at corner as well. So kind of wrapped it up here, Igoe. Maybe we'll do some special teams if we can talk to you in the coming weeks. But as far as the defense goes, I think we have I personally am optimistic about East Carolina's defense in 2021. I think we saw some signs year one of Blake Harrell. Now he gets spring ball for the first time with him, gets to implement even more. New faces coming in, veterans that are going to lead the team when the coaching staff is away in the form of Bivens and Smith and Ramsour and those guys. So I am very optimistic about another leap being taken by this defense for the upcoming season.
I am too. I think it's realistic to expect continued gradual improvement, if not big improvement, because the most exciting thing is they're still so young across the board. Like all those DBs we just mentioned, how many of them have 2 to 3 years remaining in their eligibility? I mean, outside of DJ Ford, like all those guys are sophomores or freshmen. So, I mean, you're still working with a pretty young team. The COVID year obviously helped, but you have a chance to really build this thing and turn it into a really good defense for the next 3 years. All those defensive linemen we talked about, the linebackers are pretty old and experienced, but even most of those guys have a couple years left, and you got some young guys waiting in the wings who are good. So the one thing that concerns me about the defense is the pass rush. Yeah, because as good as your secondary is, it doesn't matter if you don't have the pass rush. And ECU has got to find a way to get to the quarterback without sending the house so much.
Last year, I mean, was Chris Willis one of the only ones that could kind of get there, and he's no longer
with the program. I mean, Rick,
what did he end up doing, by the way?
Chris Willis, he's done with football.
Yeah. Okay.
Rick DeBrayu is really kind of your star returning pass rush. Didn't have a lot of sacks last year, but I thought got consistent good pressure. I think you'll see him at end. I think you'll see Xavier Smith. They'll try some different things, but you really need one of those young D linemen to emerge and kind of be a force in the pass rush.
Or you need a Nate Harvey to pop up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They have a fullback.
Maybe Jeremy Lewis can be that guy after a position change. The blitzing all the time is good. It keeps the offense on its heels, and it creates some explosive plays. But you also got to be able to, 3rd and 8, every now and then just rush forward, drop into coverage, and be able to get to the quarterback.
Zach on Facebook Live had a random request. He asked, could we say a Corey Glore hello? Spelled Corey's first
spelled it wrong.
And last name wrong.
So I'd say that we
classic message boarder.
If you can't spell his name right, either one, then I don't even know if you can grant the request.
I'm gonna say this is like multiplication, and if you multiply two negatives, it turns into a positive. So I'm gonna say hello. If you want to sit out, you can. I'd like to go around the room. Let's start with Chandler, who does a good Corey Glore.
From the gut.
No.
Hello.
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 There you go.
There you go.
The Corey Glore Quartet. All right, let's take a timeout. We got 5 or 10 minutes left to go.
We should have all said it at the same time.
Hello.
Right. On the count of 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3.
Hello.
We're so dumb. But look, that's what he wanted.
Hey, we're giving the fans what they want.
This is what you want.
But don't ask again.
Quit asking. We'll take a timeout. We got a few more minutes to go with Igoe and a giveaway when we return after this.
The Pirate Radio Podcast.
Former head coach of the Pirates, Mac McCarthy.
So Herbert Green went to see Charles at a Christmas tournament in Huntsville, Alabama. And they were playing against Butler High School, which had a center who was the number 1 center in the country, a kid named Bobby Lee Hurt. Well, Charles just beat the living daylights out of Bobby Lee. But when Herbert came back from that trip, he said, we're recruiting the wrong guy. We have to recruit this guy named Charles Barkley.
Listen to every Pirate Radio podcast now by visiting our podcast channel and subscribing in Apple iTunes or SoundCloud. The Pirate Radio Podcast is powered by White Claw Hard Seltzer, proudly distributed by Coastal Beverage.
A car wash experience like no other is here at the new Tommy's Express. You'll enjoy a gentle belt conveyor ride through our bright, inviting wash as luscious foams and soft cloths treat your car like new. After a final rinse, wax, and blow dry for a beautiful spot-free shine in just about 3 minutes, help yourself to our free vacuums and mat washers. We're Tommy's Express.
Tommy's Express Wash, now open on the corner of Greenville Boulevard and Red Banks Road in Greenville.
You demand perfection. That's why you drive the perfect car. Okay, maybe it's not exactly perfect, but it's perfect to get you to Domino's for their perfect $7.99 carry-out deal. Carry out any 3-topping pizza or a 10-piece order of wings, smothered in delicious sauces like hot buffalo, garlic parmesan, and honey barbecue, just $7.99 each. Demand the perfect carry-out deal at Domino's. Carry out only. You must ask for this limited time offer. Prices, participation, and charges may vary. Excludes XL and specialty pizzas. Crust availability varies by size.
Hey Pirate fans, it's time to get that yard done right with the new John Deere mower from Quality Equipment. Our premium lawn care lineup is what every homeowner needs this spring. A John Deere will change the way you mow with easy-to-use attachments, effortless steering, and intuitive controls. Right now, save up to $700 on X300, X500, and X700 series mowers. Learn more at QualityEquip.com and get quality done right. Offer ends 10/29/21. Some restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
There's no better time to drive away with a quality pre-owned car, truck, or SUV from Greenville Auto World. Greenville Auto World is your authorized rough country dealer. We specialize in lift and leveling kits along with custom wheel packages. Whether you're looking for ground clearance or enhancing the appearance of your vehicle, trust our team for your off-road experience. Greenville Auto World, 3840 South Charles Boulevard across from Hardee's at Bell's Fork, or online at greenvilleautoworld.net.
Did you know time spent outdoors can help improve your children's health and bring balance to their life? The Outdoor Heritage Advisory Council invites you to join the Patch program. This program is for any child under the age of 16 and includes activities like fishing, hunting, and hiking. These are just one of the many ways you can earn the exclusive patches from the Outdoor Heritage Council. For more information on how to sign up and get your adventure started, visit outdoorheritage.nc.gov.
For the latest from the world of golf, tune in every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 for the Golf Shop Radio Show. Hosts Mark Greenhelge and Matt Blanchard talk golf from tee to green and everything in between. If you like golf, you're gonna love Golf Shop Radio. Before you tee up, drop on in. Welcome to the Golf Shop.
The best place for delicious food and great prices is Familia. Familia has $6 lunch specials, a $10 pizza of the week, and every Thursday has $2 drafts all day. Sunday brunch is the best for food and family. Come and enjoy favorites like shrimp and grits, made-to-order omelets, French toast, and drink specials like $3 mimosas, beer mimosas, or $5 Bloody Marys. Familia, Fire Tower Road near Pitt Community College, and FamiliaNC.com.
Hi, this is Phil Steele of Phil Steele's College Football Preview Magazine, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. At Angel Oak, they continue to make customer service a #1 priority. A local mortgage advisor is the key to your transaction success. The combination of their local team's experience and Angel Oak's wide offerings of products from standard, conventional, government, and portfolio loans has something for every financial situation. For more information, call Talbot Green, Joanne Weir, or Wanda Hager at 751-2060. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Back with you as we get ready for Pirate football. 38 days away from kickoff. More importantly, like a week away from covering a practice, right, Steven?
Yeah, preseason camp, I think, begins next Tuesday. And by the way, the American Athletic Conference, not to go on a tangent here, but how can you have media days in the middle of preseason camp? What are we doing? Why are we not doing this in July?
Like everybody else.
Like every other conference.
Yeah.
I don't understand any benefit of having it in early August. All you're doing is pissing off the coaches. I promise you.
All right, there's that from Stephen Igoe. So we'll be covering that next week and looking forward to it. Stephen, are you like, I don't know, what's your mindset right now with the baby, with the football?
One day at a time.
Yeah, like you got a lot. You've got nothing going on, but a lot at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it'll hit, next week. Once practice begins, it's going to be all-out chaos.
Is it crazy to know your life is about to change forever? Like, this is a marking point in your life.
I've been waiting on it for a long time now, so it's like...
Hurry up and get it over with.
And make it happen, start that phase of my life and figure it out from there. I mean, it's going to be a challenge, but I'm excited that, the good thing is... I guess at times the next month will go by slowly and painfully, but at times it'll also fly by because we'll have so much going on.
All right.
And then football season will be here.
You know what? I'm going to read this on the air. Ginny Shelton chiming in, Stephen.
Okay.
Says maybe the conference is dealing with bigger issues like conference stuff. You ever think of that, Stephen?
Ginny.
Was that supposed to be funny?
I think she's being serious.
I think she's saying like conference
realignment. Yeah.
But no. They could have done this 2 weeks ago with no issues.
Yeah, you plan for these things far in advance before all this starts. So that has nothing to do with it. Mike Oresco's like, oh crap, I forgot about this. I'm trying to add Texas Tech to the AAC.
I mean, unless he knew that this news was going to break in late July and that the American could get some headlines by holding the conference media days in early August. Like, if he knows that, then he's well ahead of the game, and the AAC is in much better shape than we even realized.
Mike Oresco is getting the pinpoints for Texas Tech. Lubo is such a nice town.
What did you just say?
How do y'all do the Mike Oresco?
Well, no. What did you
Lubbock?
What did you
Lubos?
He said Lubo.
What is Lubos?
Yes, Deanna.
Lubos is a fantastic town. Hold on, I gotta get it right. It's just fantastic. It's Shane Carden and Justin Hardy had such a great career at East Carolina University, and we think that if Texas Tech is added and the lovely town of Lubos, that it could really improve our profile, not only from an eyeball perspective, but from a financial and academic perspective, with the Lubos Library that they have there, the Lubos Town of Chamber of Commerce, and the Lubos Walmart is said to be one of the best Walmarts in the country. Shane Carden, Justin Hardy. Great job. Great facilities.
Jenny responds, says everybody is on vacay till end of July. Duh.
Well, including Nick Saban, every SEC coach, every ACC coach.
Yeah, like these things have been happening. I promise you the coaches will be, it's only a day or two.
Jenny, do you work for the American? What do you care? Why are you so invested into this argument? I mean, I like it, but I'm just curious.
She's just trying to get us mad at each other somehow.
I don't really have any beefs with Igoe at this moment. Steven, we're going to give you the day off Thursday.
Yeah.
Might be an important day, or nothing might not happen at all.
Yeah, nothing might not happen at work.
But
something could happen.
We hope to have you on the program in some shape, form, or fashion in the coming weeks via phone. If
likely over the phone.
Yeah, like while you're holding your baby boy.
Yeah.
You could talk some Pirate football with us or something. I don't know.
We'll figure something out.
So, yeah, we'll do that. But good luck to you and Erica.
Thank you.
Anything going on Hoist the Colors we need to know about?
Just we posted a couple of things this morning. 2 long articles. One, power ranking the opponents for East Carolina football in 2021. Who do you think was number 1?
On the toughest opponents? Mm-hmm. That would be, not to be fickle, but I'm going to say Cincinnati.
Good call. And we also had our most notable weight changes year over year. The online roster was just updated with the weight changes on ecpirates.com. I've already had 2 players message me saying that their weights are inaccurate, I'm like, look, man, like it was on ECUPirates.com. It was just updated. I'm like, that's the only info I have to go by.
Steven, you want me to run down the whole list, toughest opponents, real quick?
Yeah, you can try.
Number 1, Cincinnati. Number 2, Central Florida.
Correct. Gets tough from there.
This one's tricky. Number 3, I'm going to say, we're going to beat Appalachian State. I'm not saying Appalachian State. Number 3 is Houston.
No.
I didn't feel good about that.
You're on the right part of the schedule. Like you're looking at it.
Memphis?
Yep.
Yeah. Memphis, and then Houston, and then App State.
I have South Carolina 4th, App State 5th, Houston 6th.
Okay.
Tulane.
Wow, where's Marshall come in?
Actually, I have Navy ahead of Tulane.
Wow.
Then Marshall.
Y'all are Tulane deniers every year, y'all being you and Ronnie.
Well, I mean, I think they're really, like I wrote in my article, they're going to be good every year. Good does not mean they're top of the conference. Like, what is the ceiling at Tulane? Now, I think with the way he's now been there, I think this is the 6th year, so he's had a full recruiting cycle plus. So, like, they're going to restock and have his system down. Now, he's got 2 new coordinators, which would worry me a little bit if I'm Tulane. But I really like that.
They got a good QB coming back.
Yeah, I like Michael Pratt a lot, their quarterback. So, the whole point of it is there's very few bad teams on the schedule. I mean, there's no, like, marquee. I mean, there's no easy wins outside of probably Charleston Southern.
Johnny, as we'll let you go, Igoe says, was glad to see the news on Jackson today, if it was ever in doubt.
There was a tweet, Jackson? That he got a waiver approved to be immediately eligible. I didn't even know that was a thing. I guess since he's already transferred a couple times.
Johnny's our hoops listener, so Johnny, if you're feeling good, I'm feeling good. All right, thanks, Steven.
Thank you.
Good luck to the Igoe family. Take a time out. As we do, Shirley, let's make somebody a winner.
Booty, 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 booty everywhere. Booty, 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 booty everywhere.
All right, 317-1250. What are we giving away on this Tuesday?
A shrimp taco lunch courtesy of Chico's.
All right, bring the Chico's shrimp taco available to you if you are caller number
12.
317-1250. Caller 12 is our winner on Pirate Radio Live. We'll be back with more after this. Weekends are made for AJ McMurphy's. Start your Sunday fun day at AJ's. AJ's is now serving brunch from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and a build-your-own Bloody Mary bar. Enjoy your weekend with live music on Friday night and Saturday night with no cover charge. And you can catch all of the MLB and ECU baseball action on AJ's TVs. See you this weekend at AJ McMurphy's, Turnberry Square at Bells Fork, and on Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat.
You've worked hard to start your business and working even harder to make it successful. And that's why it's important to have a bank in your corner when you need them. This is former ECU baseball player Ashley Capps from Select Bank and Trust. And as the business world throws you curveballs, we're here to be responsive to your needs. Our team of local bankers can make local decisions and cares about you, the customer. Get the business services that are right for your business today with Select Bank and Trust. Bank local, bank select, member FDIC.
Great food, great atmosphere, and great service is Ottavola Market Cafe. Ottavola is simply a restaurant that focuses on that, being a great restaurant. There's something for everyone at Ottavola. The menu offers a variety of great choices like pastas, pizzas, sandwiches, soups, salads, and seasonal rotating selections. Lunch or dinner, Ottavola is always the right call. Call ahead and get Ottavola to go, or stop by the bar for a drink with friends. It's simple. Come and eat at Ottavola Market Cafe, Red Banks Road next to Food Lion, and OttavolaMarket.com. Ottavola, pirates supporting pirates.
For years, Callie Ann Phelps has been singing about Phelps Chevrolet.
Phelps Chevrolet is the one for you. Low prices, service too. See the big dealer right away. Carolina's finest, Phelps Chevrolet.
And you'll agree with what Skylar Phelps has to say.
Nobody beats Phelps Chevrolet's prices. Nobody.
The name you can depend on. Phelps Chevrolet.
Get you one.
Find new roads with Chevrolet. Then come find yours at Phelps Chevrolet in Greenville.
Hi, this is Jeff Charles for my friends at Ed Watkins Marine. I've known Ed personally for years, covering his winning performances on the football field and on NASCAR's pit road. Now Ed is winning on the water, and you get to win too. You win with awesome boat prices from Ed Watkins Marine, and of course, great service after the sale. If you're looking for a new boat, contact Ed Watkins Marine today. They will deliver anywhere. Find them online at edwatkinsmarine.com and tell them the voice sent you. Hi, this is Jeff Charles, and welcome inside the booth. The Hurricanes Foundation is strong. Some thoughts on North Carolina's NHL franchise next.
Baltimore Orioles baseball.
Pitch to Hayes, jacked down the left field line, into the corner, it is gone! A fair ball tucked inside the foul pole. Austin Hayes off the bench and into the seats. A solo shot absolutely lasered down the left field line. It is 5-2 Orioles in the 8th.
Catch all the O's action right here on Pirate Radio, your home of the Baltimore Orioles.
49-year-old Tom Dundon now owns the Carolina Hurricanes, lock, stock, and barrel. The previous owner, Peter Carbonos, sold his last remaining shares to Dundon. The Hurricanes are winning 3 straight trips to the playoffs, and Rod Brindamore, my all-time favorite Hurricane, was named the Jack Adams Award winner as the NHL's Coach of the Year. Brindamore was a grinder as a player, and he coaches the same way. He signed up for 3 more years. Top defenseman Dougie Hamilton is an unrestricted free agent, so the Canes may have to replace him. The roster is solid, however, and now that the pandemic is finally over, the crowd should flock back to PNC Arena. It truly is one of the best atmospheres in the National Hockey League, and the Caniacs have a winning product to support. Come on back again next time, and we'll visit inside the booth.
Pirate Radio.
And you write that down, because when you're at East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it!
The voice of the Pirate Nation. You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Congratulations to Todd Harris of Winterville. Picked up a shrimp taco lunch courtesy of Chico's. Grab your amigos and head to Chico's. Enjoy your favorites like shrimp tacos, steak and chicken fajitas, burritos, enchiladas, ACP, and more. Plus, ice-cold cervezas and Chico's famous margaritas are always available. For Mexican food and fun, it's gotta be Chico's. Now let's head back in to PRL. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
Alrighty, back with you on Pirate Radio Live here on a Tuesday. Clip Brock, Shirley Rhodes, Chandler Honeycutt. We had a great show today. Thanks to Amanda Houston, Ginny Shelton for coming by, talking about the ladies' clinic going on this Friday. You can sign up for it online, or you can just show up on Friday. It's $75, and you'll get a tour, some pictures with all the behind-the-scenes stuff, staff introductions, chalk talk, so you'll go over some plays, hit the weight room, skills and drills, and also have a nice dinner. So that is available to all you ladies out there. Also, Billy Weaver, Gene Briggs, and Stephen Igoe joined us on today's show. Good luck to Gene and the Babe Ruth All-Stars from Greenville, who will be taking the field at 6:30 at Guy Smith Stadium. If you want to go watch some good area baseball as they try to make it to the Babe Ruth World Series out in Texas. We've been talking a lot of conference realignment, not only today, but every day since that news came out last week. Cav, we were talking about the AAC Media Days coming up at the same time as fall camp. And Cav says the AAC will make an announcement during Media Days. You guys are 2 steps behind 4 teams next week. All right, Cav. Thanks for giving us the heads up on that. So the AAC is going to announce 4 new teams next week. Now, Cav,
according to Cav.
Now, Cav, when that doesn't happen, are you going to come back and say you don't know what the hell you're talking about?
And the answer is?
Well, that was more of a rhetorical question.
Gotcha.
We'll see if he answers during the break. Or, after they announce the 4 teams, are you going to be our permanent insider? That also is a rhetorical question. So, AAC Media Days, I guess, coming out. They're not even doing the in-person stuff now. So, Ronnie Woodward has already voted in his media poll and has Cincinnati winning the American in 2021, as they did a year ago. The Phil Steele magazine is out. The Phil Steele podcast with Troy D coming up at 6 o'clock. It's available to download via Spotify now, also iTunes. You can find it on SoundCloud and hear that conversation. We played some cuts earlier. Phil Steele has ECU 69th in his power poll, which is, again, higher than I expected. And I asked Shirley and Chandler their numbers. Chandler was in mid-70s. Shirley was high 80s.
Yep.
So higher than you guys expected as well.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'll take it, because if there's a guy that knows, their football, it's Phil Steele. And if you go back and look at his track record as far as predicting what East Carolina will do in a season, the dude is pretty much on track.
Yeah.
So
if he likes him, I like him.
Yeah, because, he's been doing this for a long time, and we've just about been with him every year, checking in, as far as the forecast for East Carolina. So he's been pretty much on point. So if he says we're around in the 60s, I'll take it.
I think the defense takes a step forward. We talked about that a moment ago. How about a bounce back year for CJ Johnson? Is that in the cards?
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes,
I mean, we need it to be in the cards.
We need it to be in the cards, but another year older, a little bit more maturity. I think he was a little frustrated. He had a breakout year his freshman year because nobody knew what he was capable of and what he could do. He caught a lot of teams off guard.
Might have got a case of the big head. Greg Smith would say.
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. And then teams decided to double team him, and that opened up obviously opportunities for Blake Prohl and Tyler Snead. Blake's not here, so he's gonna have to step up. Whether he's just gonna have to find that separation and be that wide receiver that we need him to be.
After going over all these position previews with Igoe, I like the makeup of the team. It's just the O-line.
It's always a concern.
It can derail everything you try to do.
Agreed.
Snapping the ball to protecting the quarterback to opening up running holes. You got a good O-line, you're going to have a good offense one way or the other. A bad O-line, it doesn't matter who you have at the skill positions. And we have to we got to get some good O-line play. Now, one positive note on that, Noah Henderson, fully cleared to return to the team. Hasn't played in a long time. Didn't play in all of 2020. So, he's got to get back into football shape, game shape, and all that. But if he is, that's almost like picking up a blue chip recruit at tackle if he's able to play this year.
I'm just looking back at last year and thinking, what would the offense look like? What would the offensive line look like performance-wise with Noah Henderson on one side and Deontay Smith on the other?
Instead, you had neither, and trying to just piece it together, and that includes injuries to Spellacy, Winstead, those guys. You were depleted. You've got some bodies this year, but it's very much unknown at how some of these guys are.
Yeah, because as you mentioned, you've got bodies, but it's not just the physical aspect of it; it's the mental aspect of it. Is knowing where they need to block, where they need to be, and providing that protection for Holton, because he can't be running for his life like he has been.
Yeah, and on that note, I expect him to run more, but not for his life, by design.
By design, yes.
By choice, rather than to not get crushed by a blitzing linebacker or defensive end. So,
and I look for Holton to make, this is what, his third year? Correct me if I'm wrong. Third year? Fourth year? Third year. What are you looking at me for?
Third year.
Okay, so it's his third year.
Fourth year.
Jeez, come on, get it together, guys.
Because he
I was
played,
asking you.
the last year of Scotty Montgomery.
We were trying to think as well.
All right, so fourth year, I expect him to make. There were some times last year where he didn't make very good decisions.
Oh, he's
trying to force things, when he didn't need to.
He's got
things
to
like
take
that.
a leap.
You've got to make better decisions, and that's what I'm hoping. I mean, he's got the arm for it. We know he's got the arm. We know he's got the feet. He's just got to get it in between the two ears. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got to make better decisions throwing the ball downfield.
Yeah, and it takes everybody, but that you're always going to look at the quarterback position. CJ is a guy that can make it to the NFL if he puts it all together, so he's under a microscope. Your big-time playmakers are going to have to show out in 2021. All right, let's get our final break in. We'll come back, get ready to wrap up a Tuesday edition of Pirate Radio Live. By the way, Pirate Radio Trivia has dropped. You can check it out from earlier today. A great battle between John Carden and Stephen Asby, a couple of ECU alums, a couple of F3 members go at it. We asked about football teams and television shows was one of the categories.
North Carolina politics.
North Carolina politics was one of the categories.
30 years ago.
30 years ago today, and that regarded film and music. Another category was...
film and music?
Yes, I already asked you these questions.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
And you killed it.
Okay.
Per usual.
Yesterday.
Oh, that's right. Okay. I didn't realize that's what you were doing, but... 2008
ECU football, that particular season, where the Pirates jumped out 3-0 and then went to 3-3. If you think you know those categories, check out Pirate Radio Trivia, available on YouTube, and play along at home. Pirate Radio Trivia brought to you by White Claw Hard Seltzer and AJ McMurphy's as well. Taking time out, come back, wrap up Pirate Radio Live after this.
Hey Pirate Nation, this is Tom Brown from Brown & Wood Buick GMC Truck. We've been serving the Pirate Nation in Eastern North Carolina for 83 years. We have 4 brands, 3 generations, 2 showrooms, and 1 goal to make sure you leave a happy customer.
This month at Brown & Wood, get a 2021 GMC Acadia and save over $5,000 off. As always, Brown & Wood is the home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
We're located on Greenville Boulevard next to the Convention Center, or shop us online at brownandwoodauto.com.
Hey Pirate Nation, Lindsay Gray here with Carolina Caliber. In 1960, my granddaddy started his firearm business right here in Eastern NC. Still family owned and operated, we have the area's largest selection for outdoor shooting sports and accessories and are one of the nation's top firearm dealers. At Carolina Caliber, we have everything you need from hunting, home defense, and personal protection, including a wide variety for ladies and youth. We buy, sell, and trade. It's a time-honored tradition. Visit us at Carolina Caliber on Fire Tower Road in Winterville.
Down East Wood Ducks baseball is back. Come out Saturday, July 31st for the Beach Jersey Giveaway, presented by Lenore Community College. Free to the first 1,000 fans. Be sure to purchase your game tickets in advance at woodducksbaseball.com or call the Wood Ducks offices at 252-686-5164. See you at Granger Stadium when gates open at 5 and first pitch is at 6. Go Woodies!
Alone, chicken, onions, peppers, and cheese have potential. Together, they have a purpose, a destiny, and a name. Jersey Mike's number 16 Chicken Philly, because grilled to order makes a sub above. At Jersey Mike's, we take great satisfaction in getting that perfect meat slice. Yes. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh, because slice to order makes a sub above.
Your power's out. There's a water leak. What do? For these and other utility-related emergencies, you need service, and you want it fast. There are 2 things you can do to get the quickest response if you're a GUC customer. First, you can call the hotline at 1-855-767-2482 and report any utility-related emergency. That number is also on GUC.com. Or second, you can give GUC your phone number. The hotline process is quickest when their account records have your current phone number. Service you can count on. Greenville Utilities.
This is East Carolina head football coach Mike Houston, and I'm proud to announce that our ladies clinic is back this summer on July the 30th. This evening will provide a behind-the-scenes look at ECU football and a chance to meet the players, coaches, and their families. The evening will end with an entertaining dinner and social. Sign up today at MikeHoustonFootballCampsLLC.com. We look forward to seeing you there. Go Pirates!
Guess what, Greenville? Calzones are back. Community Calzone is the only restaurant in town specializing in calzones. Choose from over 50 different calzones, or you design your own with unlimited options, including vegetarian. Community Calzone also features wings, huge salads, and more. Plus, they deliver to almost everywhere in Pitt County. Located on Greenville Boulevard next to Ashley Furniture Warehouse, they're open for lunch, dinner, and late night for dine-in, pickup, or delivery. It's Community Calzone.
This is Dr. Phil Perdue with Orthopedics East and Sports Medicine Center. My colleagues and I recognize how difficult this time is for everyone in our community. We continue to see patients during the week while taking precautions to keep everyone safe. Our extended care clinic is now open on Saturdays and Sundays from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. so you can avoid the emergency department for your urgent orthopedic care. For more information, please contact us at 757-2663 or visit our website at orthoeast.com.
This is Coach Blake Harrell, defense coordinator for East Carolina football, and you're listening to Pirate Radio, the voice of the Pirate Nation.
You're listening to Hour 3 of Pirate Radio Live. Do you need custom t-shirts, apparel, or promotional items for your business, organization, or event? Keep it local. Print it local with University Sportswear. Contact them today at universitysportswearenc.com. Now, back to the show.
Welcome back. Taking a look at your stock market for today. It was a rough day. The Dow fell 85 points and closed at 35,058. NASDAQ was down 168 points at 14,956, and the S&P was down 20 at 4,401. That's your Wells Fargo Advisors stock market report. For a personal look into investing, call Wells Fargo Advisors today at 756-6900 in Greenville. Wells Fargo Advisors, LLC, member SIPC. Now let's head back in to Pirate Radio Live. Here's your host, Clip Brock.
All right, I'm excited to get off the air today.
Okay, why is that?
Because I'm ready to hear Phil Steele on Pirate Radio.
Oh, yeah.
If you're listening to our live edition Tuesday at 5:58 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, then stay tuned for Phil Steele and Troy D one-on-one on the Pirate Radio podcast. You can also download that on Apple iTunes, SoundCloud, and Spotify as well. And it'll be on the air coming up in a couple of minutes. So what does Phil Steele think about East Carolina in 2021? Stay tuned and find out a couple of minutes from now. We got a lot of football talk coming up later on this week. Tomorrow, we will talk to Harry Donahue, a fantastic voice. He is the voice of the Temple Owls. We'll talk about Temple. Struggled last year. We'll see what they got for 2021 as he'll join us on the show. Also, Will Bland. We'll start to get into some high school football previews as August is less than a week away. Coming up this weekend, August will be here. So time to talk high school football. Will Bland will join us coming up Wednesday with Bryce Williams in hour number 3. Dave Woloshin is the voice of the Memphis Tigers. He joins us Friday, and we'll have an offensive show for you as well. Not offensive, but offensive with Donnie Kirkpatrick, offensive coordinator of the Pirates. He'll be here joining us on Friday as well. A lot in between coming up on the program. So some big shows on tap. Thanks for tuning in today. Chandler Shirley, we'll see y'all fine folks Wednesday, 3 o'clock for an all-new edition of Pirate Radio Live. We will talk to you then. So long, everybody.
Thanks for listening to Pirate Radio Live, an exclusive presentation of the voice of the Pirate Nation. This is Pirate Radio, WGA.